the core of a good story is to have a character that's good. Of course, if you want to give them cool powers, great, but it's not going to be meaningful, and you're not really going to have people that really rally behind it unless it's we're back. Unless it's like the character's like good.
I mean, sounds like you guys were just having the conversation regardless, which is fine. I mean, it's probably going to be a lot of what you just said, but I do want to finish my thought before my computer shuts down again for some reason. Fundamentally, I agree, right? But the problem is that, like, in superhero media, or I guess just like any fictional media, you do still need to have a hook. So it's like I guess like the way that how do I want to phrase this, I guess. If you had to pick between either a better character or more interesting powers, I think given the medium of superhero stuff, I think the more interesting powers is the thing that's going to be more successful. Because, like,
I think there's probably because there's just so many heroes that now, on top of, like, you don't want to make something that's already there.
Just making a comic about somebody who can fly, but they're boring as hell. Like, that's the worst of both worlds, right? Because it's not interesting and it's not a good character. You would have to
compensate by making, like,
the powers in the world building would have to be the thing that compensates for the bad character, right? Like, yeah, I agree. Because it's like a really good example of this done like pretty well would be like season 1 of Heroes, right? Where the idea is that it's a bunch of people who have superpowers, but the actual core of the show is this like murder mystery, like interpersonal relationships that they all have with each other and stuff, right? Like, that's why it's actually interesting. So, I mean, like, yes, in a literal sense, it's like character first, but you also like, and I know Mikey's not saying this, but like character first, absolutely. But then you do still need to make sure you have like an interesting hook in order for it to be part of that medium. Because otherwise, like, I don't know, you can have two of the most interesting characters ever that are just sitting at a coffee shop and talking to each other, and that's just a Quentin Tarantino movie. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's still successful, but that's not superheroes. You know? So
I was just about to say, because it's like, it depends, because like sometimes a lot of superhero stuff boils down to choosing to do the right thing against the odds, but it's like it depends on.
Oh my god!
Sekigahara, hold on. Pause.
Wow, what a motorcycle! Holy shit!
But you, what do you want with your?
Tomi Kisaragi.
Tomi Kisaragi.
Come, please, Fuyusaka.
Iori-chan.
She's like, she's just like, this is about a crush. You go get your man.
Go. Right.
But yeah, okay. So what I was saying, yeah. So each of them, maybe at the core, are like good person, but it depends on like the other characteristics and how they react to said powers. Like,
well, because it's not even necessarily that. Like how do I want to phrase it? Like, I talk about it a lot, right? But in the Across the Spider-Verse animated movie, right, the second one, there's that scene that I think is so perfect because you don't really get it a lot in superhero media anymore. Where it's just it's that scene where they're in the alternate universe where New York is Mumbai, essentially, right? Like New Delhi, I think is what they called it. But it's that scene where it's like, oh, the bad guy is getting away, and the bad guy has like multi-universal like ramifications, right? So technically, the utilitarian thing to do would be to focus 100% of your effort on that guy because he's going to cause way more damage than anything you could possibly do in this one dimension. But this giant fuck you like Taj Mahal building is like collapsing down this like mountainside, and it's just such a beautifully animated and well like choreographed scene where the 3 Spider-Men, or I think it's 4, are just swinging back and forth, saving fucking hundreds of lives. You know what I mean? And they're doing it because it's like that's the right thing to do. Like the practical thing to do is just to focus on the spot and go, you know, and go after him. But like, it's a really good example of like that is what a hero like because that's why superhero media.
That's why it boils down. Yeah,
Yeah,
boils down to doing the right
superhero
thing
media is
and,
best when it's about the like them actually doing the right thing. You know what I mean? Because then, like, I mean, you know, you get like the early 2000s stuff, which is fine, but like you get the early 2000s stuff where everybody was like an anti-hero, right? You had Spawn and the
yeah.
Punisher and Venom and stuff like that that got like really
Which
popular,
is cool.
which
But
is
like once again, that
cool.
also
Yeah.
relies on making a good enough character. That's the thing. The character has to be good enough. And I gave like an example of, even though for some superheroes at the core
Do you still
it's
have
all
those
the
dreams?
same,
Huh?
like the way you fine tune it, like Peter Parker has to deal with being a teen who's acquired powers
They're not
and being
actually
in like the public
premonitions.
versus Superman's, and he's different. Superman is not only an alien to this foreign world, but his powers are way, I would say, way stronger into a certain degree than, if I guess I'm comparing it to Peter
I mean,
Parker, but
I
it's like,
would. Sorry, I'll let you finish.
but it's like, so the way he has to deal, like the problems are a little bit different from him than Peter Parker, what Peter Parker has to deal with. But like ultimately boiling it down is choosing to take responsibility and like doing the right thing.
I don't like. I mean, not to kind of, because I think fundamentally I agree with the point that you're making, right? But like in terms of like the Spider-Man Superman thing, I would like to just point out that it's like you saying that Spider-Man's thing is about being a teen and then like learning to like
No, he
cope with
has
whatever.
that. No, but say that's
No,
just
right,
like
right. But he has that. But like in actuality, what it is, it's actually very interesting that you bring it up, because the actual like thing that most Spider-Man characters are built off of is the fact that he's a very disadvantaged person, right? He's poor, he works all the time, and then despite having to work like all this extra stuff and deal with all this extra stress, he still chooses to do the right thing and help out his local community, right? That's like the core of who Peter Parker is as a character, which is why a lot of like which is why a lot of Spider-Man fans really don't like the Tom Holland Spider-Man, because while he is a good guy, he doesn't actually like kind of exhibit those struggles, which is like its own thing. And
Well,
then
I would say
Superman,
even
Clark
inherently,
Kent,
what you're saying is different. It took like Superman. So even
right?
the
Well,
descriptor you gave,
let me
yeah.
finish. The thing with Superman and Clark Kent is that, and you're right, because he is an alien, right? He's literally from Krypton, so it's like by a literal definition, he is not an Earthling. But the thing is that after he becomes an adult, right, and he has like, you know, more or less full control of all of his powers and stuff, it's still the fact that he chooses to do the right thing, which is what you talked about, right? But it's
Yeah.
also the fact that like it's not even just that he chooses to do the right thing, it's that even though he has like adversaries like Lex Luthor and stuff like that, right? Like people who are like trying to get him to fucking leave, because he could just leave, right? He
Yeah,
could
there's
very
a lot of people against him trying to force him into boxes and stuff like that.
Well, it's like, well, like, yeah, because like that's the thing, is that it's like Superman is a very interesting thing, because what Superman is supposed to represent as a like narrative device is he is the most powerful being, except when he's not, right? And that's
Yeah.
part of the problem with some of the
Kryptonite and stuff
Superman
like
narratives,
that.
is that you still need to have like he still needs to be able to punch somebody, and then that somebody to not vaporize into dust, right? So like that's like a problem with like the medium itself. But like the idea is that a lot of Superman's most interesting adversaries are like the physical manifestations of the idea of control, right? Like Lex Luthor has like all the money in politics that you could possibly imagine, and he uses all of it just to try to usurp Superman in whatever way. And then like, you know, in a lot of the shows it's Superman versus the military, because the military is like, oh, he's inherently dangerous. And it's like, yes, that's true, but the thing is that Clark Kent, the human being, would never do that, right?
Do that, but it's on principle. It's the risk, right? It's all these like,
Yeah.
there's much more like nuance in like what these specific superheroes have to deal with that leads them to be more unique. And I think, you know, it's reasonable for them to exist, right? Because you know, by a certain point, if you don't have these nuances, then it's just like these are all cookie cutter the same thing, you know?
Right, of course. And like, you know, having, and I mean, it's like one of the, and then I'll get to Mikey, because I saw Mikey left a comment in the thing. I'll get to that in a second, but it's actually like kind of like spiraling off of that a little bit. the transformation of Poison Ivy is very interesting because it's like when you look at like the history of like the Batman rogue galleries of villains or whatever, it's really funny that like the only thing that has changed about Poison Ivy's popular depiction is that she is no longer a like femme fatale seductress all the time. Like all of her motivations and the things that she does are exactly the same, but it's just people's perceptions of those things have changed because it's like, oh, wait a minute, she's just trying to like help the environment. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, it's not actually that bad. So it's really interesting because it's like, and the reason I bring that up in particular is that even when you go back to like the old comics, like the old comics, if you like look at who, because that was one of the things that Batman the comic book series was always really good at was characterizing the villains. If you go back to the old ones where you know Poison Ivy first kind of showed up, and you start like analyzing who she is as a character, she's fundamentally the same. Like maybe she wasn't a lesbian or whatever, but like she's fundamentally the same character. And it's really interesting that it's just like the context of society has changed around that character that made her more of an anti-hero or I guess an anti-villain in that case.
Well, that's the interesting part, like, because the villains can also play a role in uniquifying, I guess, the superheroes, because they could be targeting certain like they could be foiling a certain characteristic.
Well, that's the whole point, right? The whole point of the villain is to
Yeah.
juxtapose certain aspects of the hero. Obviously.
Yeah, but I think, and what I'm saying is that depending on what that issue is, that's another reason why like the different stories can separate even further from each other, so they're not all like the same. What's Mikey's thing?
I don't know if you heard Saba while you were getting back online, but my thing that I wanna is that I want to care about the person with powers instead of caring about them due to the powers. You could have the most cool shit powers in the world, but if the character with said powers is flat as cardboard, that's seen as failure in my eyes. No, I mean, and like I don't know, in like it's obviously a very hyperbolic statement, but it's like yeah, obviously, you know, like I think that's
why not all superheroes work. Because there's a ton, like there is infinite probably amount of superheroes, but not all of them hit. And that's probably
so that's I guess that's kind of my thing as well that I kind of want to, because Superman was brought up as like the counterpoint, and the thing is that I also used to feel that way about like Superman as a character in the comic books, and it's like what it really boils down to in a really interesting sort of way, because like Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, like these are not characters, these are archetypes now, which is weird to think about, right? Because like depending on which comic book series you're reading, Batman is like a functionally different character who just has like the same foundation, you know what I mean? So it's like for the Superman stuff, I still kind of have a like a negative opinion of Superman in a lot of ways, but it's like I don't know, like Grant linked me to a bunch of comic books that were like, hey, maybe check these out and you can maybe understand like why, like, you know, why Grant likes Superman so much. And I totally get it, you know what I mean? And it really just comes down to like, it's one of the reasons why I fucking hate Zack Snyder with a burning passion, because like he is the hack in like he did the Superman movies and stuff, or like the Justice League movies, and it's like he just clearly does not give a shit about human beings, you know what I mean? Like in any context. So it's like I don't know. I guess my point like, being that like an author and a creator can absolutely dumpster a character when the foundation of that character is supposed to be much more
like I think a perfect example of what you're saying is that when how like sometimes people refer to Batman and the archetype of what Batman is supposed to be, right? Because it's like I think the phrase, and you've heard the phrase too, it's like if you can't imagine Batman like what is it, consoling a child, then that's not
Batman.
That's not Batman. That's like the Punisher or something like that. And it's like,
and that was one of the things about Zack Snyder that pissed me the fuck off, and Grant, right?
Yeah, because it's like you're so enamored by the idea of like Batman's edgy and cool and traumatized because of his parents, and it's like you're really focusing. Like, sure, that's something that exists, but you're really missing the point of once again, what it boils down to is that
And this
Batman
is-
suffered a lot, and that's like kind of his personality.
And it gives
but he
him
still chooses to do the right
sympathy
thing.
for everybody who's
Yeah.
suffering is the idea, right? And I'm really glad you bring it
Yeah.
up. And this is why I'm like pissed that Mikey brings this up during a fucking Sunday stream, 13 Sentinels, because this would have been fucking perfect for yesterday instead. So fuck you,
We
Mikey.
can bring it back up.
I'll
We'll bring
kill
it back
you
up,
dead.
okay?
Anyway, so what I was gonna say was that's why I love they did like a revival of Batman the Animated Series on Amazon Prime, and it's fucking incredible because it does exactly what you just described. Where thank you, Mikey. It does exactly what you just described, which was the new animated series. Like Batman he's still trying to stop crime, right? He's still trying to save lives and stuff. But you can see that there are very definitive moments where he does empathize with these villains because he's like, no, like I get where you were coming from, and you are a hurt person, but your hurt is cranked up to 11 and it's hurting other people, so I have to punch you in the head.
Like innocent
You know what I
people.
mean?
Yeah,
and that's like the
yeah.
problem, right? And it's really interesting because he does really care about that sort of stuff. Like, it's funny, like thinking of this sort of stuff like makes me all bleary-eyed. But gosh, I can't remember all the details. If we get around to it, I'll have Grant try to give you the same spiel that he gave to me because he gave me this spiel and then I watched the episode that he was talking about. The long and the short of it, there was some psychic entity that was like tormenting people in their dreams, and it was causing such vivid nightmares that people were having like fucking heart attacks and stuff, right?
Oh.
And so over the course of the episode, Batman's doing his investigation, and what he discovers is that it's a little girl who is developing her powers for the first time, and because of where her powers come from, she will never be able to control it, right? And so she fully and fundamentally understands that, because she doesn't want to be doing this. This is just something that her powers are doing
is
to
this
the world
about
around her.
Batman, do you say?
This is Batman, yes.
Okay, then I think I know, because there was a clip I saw with, is this the girl who ends up on the swing and like
Yes,
passes
they're
away?
on the swing underneath the
Yeah,
willow tree.
I saw that. That was really like impactful.
But that is exactly what I'm talking about. Where it's like if Zack Snyder were to write that scene, it would just be like the little girl would be like, "I'll kill everybody," and then Batman just like shoots her with the Magnum or whatever.
kill her to stop her, and then maybe afterwards he'd be a little remorseful. But he said, "But it had to be done." Like he
right,
would say
something like that. Whereas in the
Yeah.
actual scene that occurred in the animated series, Batman sits there and they have and they talk about it and how terrified she is, and like the fact that she understands that I cannot exist, or else I'm going to ruin countless lives. And it's like, and then it cuts away very tastefully, and Batman walks out from underneath that willow tree alone. And that's what I'm talking about, where it's like Batman /
like
Bruce
holding
Wayne
her,
as a character he has enough breadth that he can have scenes like that and it can work. Whereas he also has scenes where he's like chucking the Joker off of a roof. You know what I mean? Or something like, I don't know. Anyway, my point being that it's like, I agree with the fundamental premise of what Mikey's saying, but I also feel like you can have the most boring, like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna talk about it again. You can have the most boring characters in the world, like fucking Calendar Man and Polka Dot Man. Absolutely dog shit villains. But then, what's his face? The guy who did Guardians of the Galaxy. What's his name?
Wrong
What's
person
his
to ask.
name?
I'm not looking at it.
Now that I'm trying to remember, I can't think of his fucking name. Whatever. He's in charge of the DCU. Yes, James Gunn. Thank you. James Gunn looks at these fucking joke ass like side villains and stuff, and he sees where these villains can, really shine, right? And he's done it like fucking 4 times in a row now. He did it with Suicide Squad, Suicide Squad 2. I love Condiment King. Well, hello, Golden Wise. Thank you for joining us. But like, but you know what I mean? My point being that like, you can have the most boring shit character or boring shit powers in the world, and then with a good writer, you can turn them into something interesting. So anyway,
Because like
this is
even
a
then
this is a
out of the
long
teeth is a
rambling
thing,
way of me just
right?
saying I agree with Mikey on a fundamental
Because
level.
it's like, yeah, I was about to say, because even that, in that of itself, like having a power which a lot of people would think like this is a stupid power, that's also something you can cope, like a problem like a character can try to cope with, you know? Like the entire like society is like, wow, you're garbage. You know, you can like inflate your body like a balloon. What a
Stinky.
loser.
Just as
Oh.
you saw in your dreams.
Okay, what's happening? Dreams.
Are Amiguchi-kun and Kurabe-kun the same?
Kurabe? You're acquainted with Tamao-san?
Tamao? No, I meant Juro Kurabe from my class.
And he's like, what the frick? That's Juro Izumi?
Why did I have a memory
If I had to guess, no. It's better you hear it from her direct.
from Miss Morimura?
We'll be seeing her soon.
Why is he going to Miss Moimura?
The killer? To motorboat
This is
them
you-
titties and then shoot her in the head?
Is this not going to be the kid, right?
I hope it's not the child.
Looks like
Although the child has always been here, so maybe.
Yeah, so kid. She's gonna be like, so, you know I like you. Yeah,
Would you mind
right.
if I called you Akun?
if that's what you want.
He's so disinterested.
No, I think his whole situation is just crazy. I don't even know if he even has the luxury. Oh, is his brain still separating?
Yeah, of course. That's really interesting because that would have hypothetically been the first time that we saw him take the same pills as
He said if that
what's her
wasn't
name?
something's gonna. That's
What's her name?
120 years from.
Moimura?
Shinonome.
Shinonome, yeah.
Maybe not
Moimura
once
gave
you
it to
forgot about her,
them.
though. Every day they keep me up.
So sleepy.
Miwa-chan loves talking. Usami-chan, she has read. Are you okay?
You know, I grew up just like right here in Ashitaba City. Well, 80 years into the future. You saw it, right? It'll happen here any day now. Just as you saw in your dreams, this town will come under attack by the Daimon.
If
By
those
the
dreams
Daimos.
were Miss Morimura's memories, that's why you both came here to fight the kaiju.
Not Morimura. Not
Yeah, so
anymore.
she's changed. That's what we kind of
Well, that's what some people think.
That's what we
Because as far as
speculated.
we know, her motivation is that she wants to get the password to shut down the Daimos. That's what we understand her motivation to be. But yet, because A is clearly of a separate initiative for whatever reason, and he thinks that she's like trying to destroy the world. But I haven't gotten that yet. Maybe she is, maybe she's not. I don't know. Because by the way, because the last person that told us that Moimura is actually trying to do something nefarious was the guy who committed acts of terrorism. Right? So it's like I don't know how much I can trust that.
The compatible ones. Those capable of altering this world. You're one of them. But this world is beyond saving.
See? Doesn't this sound like doesn't he sound like a bad guy?
Huh?
Would you like to come with me? We can go back 16 years and try again. The city may go down, but it won't take us with it.
How does that actually work
There's, like,
within the
time.
mechanics that
Remember,
we
there's, like, a
understand the
weird
world to
time
have?
thing. Well, the first thing that kind of altered maybe our perception a little bit was, what is it? Izumi going back with Fuyusaka-san, and then they did apparently stay in that world for like
No, it was
12
not. It
years,
was not
but
A.
it's-
It was not A. It was
not A.
It was Izumi.
That's what I said.
You said A, Saba.
Why was it Izumi? Whatever. But Izumi and Fuyusaka, but I think that was also potentially because the Daimos were too far away and it took them X amount of time to get there.
Izumi and Moimura, yes. But that's the thing, is
Yeah.
that once again, it's like I think we've thoroughly established that time travel is not real. The quote-unquote time travel is them either just teleporting to a different sector, which is separated by 40 years, or delaying their travel to a sector until the loop in the sector matches the time period that they're trying to go back to. Right? So when he says
So-
but when he says we can go back in time 16 years, what he's actually saying, at least to my understanding, what he's actually saying is like, oh, we'll leave to like Sector 0 or something, I don't know, and then we'll wait until the loop ends, then we'll wait 16 more years or whatever, or we'll wait whatever year we are on the loop minus 16, and then we'll go back.
I think so.
There isn't time travel, but there is time travel. But that's what I'm saying, though, is that like...
It's weird.
no, but sorry, to finish my thought, because I realize I keep interrupting myself, if the Daimos destroy the sector, how is there a loop at all? Right? Isn't that how that works?
Well, let's. Yeah, I did.
I mean,
say,
let's keep
yeah,
going, but like, I just don't understand.
Stuff,
I just don't understand. Like, if the Daimos come and destroy the city, that is the sector gone. Like, there is no more loop after that. At least as far as I know.
We'll win next time.
Miwako.
What about Miwa-chan? She's still here, and so are my parents. What would happen to them?
They're
They'll
not
be attacked
real.
by the Daimos, and that'll be it. But your parents aren't real.
There you go.
Chihiro Morimura came here from Sector 1. You're no different.
Oh, come on.
Man, ladies really do be just accepting whatever a cute boy says to them, huh?
They're my family.
If you decide to stay here, you'll perish along with them.
I don't have a choice, do I?
Well, actually, I can't leave because I got shot in the chest by my dumbass co-high schooler with her magic gun.
In that case, just like in my dreams, I'll fight and protect everyone.
And how do you plan on doing that?
I don't know, karate?
Memory of what happened.
Karate?
Expect you'll have his help.
You mean Kurabe-kun? What about you? Won't you be fighting too?
Ryoko-san and I.
So the answer is yes, but just not in the capacity, like not him. It's not him anymore, right? It's like an
I can't
alternative
afford to
version
sit
of him.
around.
Oh,
That's the kind of guy I am. I don't deserve your love. Do you get
Fuck
it now?
up, nerd.
This is teen angst at its finest.
Ei-kun. Well, you know what? I'll go check if Miss Morimura's here yet.
Oh, booty ass.
There's
Fuyusaka-san.
what?
She looks just like in my dream.
A sounds really like kind of
Explain.
defeated right now.
Why did you bring her here?
To expose your secrets. She has a right to know.
Miss Morimura.
Go on. Tell her.
There's a reason why our hair looks almost identical.
Is it true? Are my dreams really your memories? Why would you do such a thing?
If you're not gonna talk, I'll do it. You wanted to write your memories and personality onto Fuyusaka, right? So you could someday take over.
What?
She was trying to assume your identity.
Fine, I'll explain.
She's like, we are the same person. Like,
Things have changed.
technically.
Operation Aegis is all we have left.
So then, what's going to happen to me?
Well, I hadn't gotten to the final step. You'll continue on as Iori Fuyusaka.
So, okay, because she is a clone, right? Like, we do know that she is a clone, but she has her own personality because she grew up and had her own life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Whatever the fake, even if
You'll
it's
carry
fake
my
memories, yeah.
memories within you.
So like, the tiny Chihiro, right? Tiny baby child Chihiro, that is a clone that she did successfully...
I think
imprint
so,
on.
yeah. And I think maybe that's why she doesn't need her, because she took over someone else.
Thanks to him, my memories...
I guess I am just a little confused, though, because why does Iori have the ability to pilot the Sentinel, but not Kitty Monster or a tiny baby child? Aren't they the same person? Like, genetically?
Maybe, but only one got, like, potentially shot with the nano machines that let him do.
Maybe. I always get confused by what nanomachines do what, because apparently you could just keep shooting someone with nanomachines and just keep rewriting them all the time. Like, at some point, someone's gonna get a bloody nose, and it's all gonna be fucking robot.
The Kurabe-kun I saw in my dreams?
426. Did you perform a memory transplant on him, too?
Yeah. Oh.
I have nothing to do with his current state. If it were up to me, I would have changed him back into the old Izumi-kun.
Oh, your memories just hit me. I understand how you feel.
Is that why you transplanted the memories of Tamao Kurabe? It can't be. Tell me your real objective.
I'm a little confused
She's
about
not
what's
lying
happening.
about her feelings.
Yes, I transplanted memories into Tamao Kurabe and Shu Amiguchi.
And
Who's Shu?
Amiguchi.
Is that still Amagaguchi? His first name was Shu?
I think so.
I don't remember that at all.
I had to fulfill
Amiguchi.
a promise I made.
There has to
Yuki-chan.
be a reason they were compatible. That's what I need to know. That's why I called you here. Tell me.
The truth is, I am no longer human.
Yeah, I can tell.
When the
No human being looks like that. You're 80% plastic now.
The world that I was in was taken over. At that time, the real me died.
I mean, that's a really scary revelation, though,
Well,
about, like,
no, but the
yourself.
thing is that I'm 99% sure she's also wrong. She says, "quote unquote," the real me. I think what the actual thing is, it's the last me. I think we've actually gone through this cycle like a million times or whatever, right?
Maybe.
An illusion produced by universal control. That's all that's left of me.
You're an illusion? I don't understand.
How did that happen? Isn't Sector Zero supposed to prevent that? Going there allows you to escape to the next world.
The concept of living through a reset is something of a misunderstanding. In short, it's not possible. Sector Zero is unique. Going there is not akin to a typical sector shift. Instead, it scanned me in as data. And with that data, Universal Control did its work.
Made a new clone and stuff and implanted them in. That's the whole fucking point of the looping and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, we know this.
Created a perfect replica of me in the next world.
So that's what a loop really is.
There are 15 humans capable of carrying out the plan.
What plan?
Can you list them for me? All of them, please. I just
all
want
of
to,
them
like, there's
people.
maybe 2 people in that list that I would like to know.
The plan made in the year 2188 to continue the species.
Which I also think is incorrect. I think it was 2188 is when they made the initial plan, and it's been fucking thousands of years or something since then.
But I'm no longer a part. I'm nothing but a doll, held captive in the 5 sectors. I'm incapable of fulfilling my mission.
So you turn to the version of you who was born into this world, Iori Fuyusaka. In time, she and you would be one and the same. That's how you plan to reclaim your humanity.
Sekigahara-kun, I gather you intended to make use of Sector Zero as well.
I was
do
like,
all-
oh,
I
now
also-
I freaking can.
Well, I sorry. I mean, this is a tangent, but I do want to point out, because once again, it's like, haha, funny, big butt, whatever. But I do like how in almost every, like, Vanillaware game, when you do have a character that's like this, no one acknowledges it. You know? Like, it's just like she might as well just be a plank of wood, just called Chihiro Moimura, and it would be just as, effective to the characters. And I always find that really funny, I guess.
You would be correct.
And you planned to put a stop to Operation Aegis, didn't you?
Why would you want to stop it?
By killing you.
Huh?
Are you going to shoot me right here and now?
Is he like, is it going to be
Can't
worth
do
it?
that.
If Operation Aegis were put into motion, this world would be cut off from universal control.
But why why would you want to do that? Because then no one can.
Yeah, no one would
Try
be
to
able
fight
to.
them
No one would
off?
be able to continue on into the next cycle.
Yeah.
So, what part of that? Like, okay, I wonder. Okay, hold on, Saba. I'm thinking about this. what if the plan is to get all 15 of the compatible people into a fight, right, with the Deimos, because those 15 are the only people that the command module, or not command module, the command code, like the thing that attracts the Deimos, those are the only people that can work. And then what if we literally just jettison that off into space? And we're like, fuck you! Right? So that way the code can't continue and the Deimos will just follow them into space or whatever.
All of these seem like, it's like, it feels like everyone I hear from, it's like, this is not the answer. Like, you're partially thinking about it, like,
What would become of
maybe
It feels like the
but I don't
characters
think
are
it's the
making
best
tons of
answer.
assumptions about everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Data stored in Sector 0 can function independently of UC.
In other words, you'll continue to live, human or not. So that's the way it is. Ryoko-san and I, we never had a way out in the first place.
Aikun!
I'm pretty sure that's Ryoku is Shinonome. I think.
Yes, it's Ryoko Shino.
Duh!
All three of them were in the same place at the same time. Also, did you not notice the small child?
I don't know if that Moimura has the same memories as the other. Oh, I don't know. It seems like she was concerned about something, but I don't know what it is. We'll have to
I'll
see if she
protect you.
can go back.
Let's do this together.
If only I had the courage to take your hand, that would have been for the best.
So what's happening? What are you doing instead? Where are you going? Do we know the answer to any of
We
this?
interrupt this program to bring you an important emergency broadcast.
Things are
A
attacking
large
us.
unidentified object has crash-landed in the city. It is headed north toward Kasumicho, destroying everything in its path.
Be the first time.
Emergency has been declared in Ashitama City.
Yeah, this is her being like, I'm gonna fight even if Aikun ran away from me.
Well, this would be what we saw in the prologue, right?
This is her about to fight.
It really came. Only one thing left to do. Aikun Sentinel.
Hey, are we about to like go into another memory right as like she's about to go into the battle?
Aikun,
So she
wait.
followed him.
First you show up at school all of a sudden, and then you pull me away to a place like...
Stay still.
She's gonna shoot him.
What?
Gonna pinch your butt.
He's
a
like,
little
where
bit.
can I
Don't worry
shoot
about it.
you?
I'm not ready for this.
Why is that the first assumption? I mean, I guess, but oh, it's her thing. Okay, she was
Oh,
already
he's
shot.
literally touching all the different spots, being like, "Where's your code?"
Whoa, what is that?
An activation switch. It's used to call your sentinel. Don't move. That should do it. If what 426 said is true, that's all I need to do.
Yeah. Do we
So
remember?
you were
Do we
working
remember what
for
that means?
426?
No, I don't. Like I said, I don't know. Maybe he was like, "Oh, you can
It's a robot
change
used to
people's
fight the
sentinels."
Deimos. It was mine, but it's in better hands with you.
Well, we already knew that pilots can bequeath their sentinels to other people. We
Yeah,
already knew
but
that.
which sentinel is A in then?
He just said 15.
No, he said he gave Fuyusaka 15.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I don't know which one he's in.
It really was worthless in the end.
Don't say that.
Fuyusaka.
Huh?
Never mind. Just forget what Morimura said, alright? Believe in yourself.
Aikun.
What an edgy guy. What? What happened there?
Shadow the Hedgehog if he was a human being.
Just as Aikun's, I'm going to believe in myself. Mom, Dad, Miwa-chan, and the rest.
Wow. Didn't even think of Tomi.
I can do it. I can.
Nah, man. That she's in the rest category.
I may be just a schoolgirl, but now I'm a schoolgirl with a giant...
What a
There you go,
line!
Mikey. A person choosing to do the right thing, even with, I guess, sentinel powers, if you could call it powers, I guess.
Gen 2, I think, right? All right. Well, that's another. Hey, congratulations, everybody. It's another one down.
Another one bites the dust.
God. All right. Oh!
What was he on?
There's
I don't
another
know
one.
why we didn't go back to him, but yeah. Another one bites the dust. Judgment Day.
Time to wake up my mind.
Time to make up my mind,
Oh,
I'm pretty
sorry.
sure.
It's made of gold.
Yeah, pretty sure. I'm like, that did.
I remember the day the Kurabe family. I held Chihiro's hand, and there was this Chihiro.
Oh, I feel bad for him.
I don't care who Chihiro says she's still a fan.
That's gonna work well.
Helicopter, helicopter.
Takatoshi, you actually showed up?
That Sentinel belongs to us, doesn't it? Why wouldn't I show up? So that's where...
Yeah, the Sentinels inside that building.
Strange, as pretty soon, all this will turn into a battleground. We'll be fighting in a place that's supposedly in the... This is what we've been training for. Odd circumstances aside, it's an honor to fight using such incredible weapons.
Takatoshi-san, could you look after Chihiro?
Don't be stupid! Whenever you're in trouble...
You shut the fuck up!
Whenever you're in trouble, I'll be there to die too. No, I'm not gonna be there.
And don't get discouraged. No...
All right. Let's go. We're taking back our Sentinel.
That's what I want to hear.
Well, we're storming the building. Is that the theme?
There it is. Just how I remember it.
I thought the place was completely wrapped up.
Another one?
Jesus.
I'm sorry, but what are you planning on doing?
He's still alive.
Taking?
I'm using low power shot. Feels like we've given these guys quite the punch.
I want to thank you. I couldn't have recovered the Sentinel without your help.
It's still a little too early to be thanking me.
Right. Natsuno-san's already out there fighting.
Hmm?
I'd better join her.
Save some action for me, all right?
What are we talking about? Did the fighting already
I think
start?
the invasion must have already started.
Okay, it's just because it was like 2 seconds ago that they're like, "Oh, can you believe in
BJ, a
some
different
time?"
me from a different time.
I
I'm
wonder
just thinking
if,
like-
because remember, we still have to do Takatoshi's thing. Takatoshi's is locked behind Goto's. I wonder
Maybe
if,
something happens.
I think from his perspective, we'll see, like, it took him a while to get through the building or whatever.
According to him, I should be able to activate the Sentinel.
I feel bad. His is the only one that's like a legit scar.
Like an actual wound.
It worked. All right, no time to waste. Natsuno-san, can you hear me?
Miura-kun, I thought it was all over.
Just stay put. I'll be right there.
Okay.
I have to protect my family. And everyone I hold dear, even if it costs me my life.
Okay, well, Miura-kun's cute.
For the final
Very
battle.
noble spirit. Even if he looks very tormented. Did we get everyone else we could have?
We have three that we've essentially not touched. God damn it. Sorry, I'm just
think
struck
we
by
should
like how
go
daunting it is that we have 3 entire campaigns to do.
Yeah, I think we should leave Goto last.
You want Goto
Did you
last?
wanna- Yes, I feel like his is going to be the craziest.
Well, actually, we can't leave Goto last because we need Goto in order to do Takatoshi.
Oh, well, I mean, it depends on how far deep he is, but we could do A if you want, or we could start.
I want to do
Tomi.
Tomi. Because
Okay.
I don't know what the fuck her deal is yet. You know what I mean? Like, she's the only one, as far as I can tell, that isn't super connected to anything. Like, she knows a lot of
This
stuff.
is the thing. She knows a lot of stuff, and I think that's what we're gonna see. What exactly happened to her, and why exactly she knows what she knows.
Oh my
but why
gosh.
she's
Oh
an
my
acting on
god. We have a lot of stuff to catch up on.
Okay.
All right, you want popcorn?
Let me just go. Okay, during the Battle of 2025, he sustained brain damage and was nearly reduced to an empty husk. To prevent this outcome, Moimura created the new personality Kurabe and implanted it into him. Kurabe's memories are being manipulated by Shiba through videotapes, but Shiba is quick to wipe his memory whenever it gets too close. Although Izumi, who's Megumi Yakushita?
Megumi is the one you hate, Saba.
Okay, good. That's why I'm happy I don't remember her ever. Knew it is nearly gone. Kurabe still remembers fighting the Sentinel and his feelings towards her. When 426 was arrested one loop ago, it became clear that 426 and Izumi are genetically identical. Due to the incompatibility between the violent memories of Izumi and that Moimura transplanted in the gentleness of...
Hold on. Stop.
What?
You are reading through this quickly because you want to get this done. I get it. We just read something fucking insane. Due to the incompatibility between the violent memories of Izumi of 2 loops ago.
Did we go through a loop then? Another loop? Isn't that the thing where he started killing people and then maybe it reset?
Well, so
there
Mike,
was,
okay, so
there was captured Izumi, and then there was the loop that came after that where he was out to like murder people because he's like, this is to how to prevent this, but then loop reset again.
What triggers a loop? What triggers a loop exactly? I don't think
it's like a certain time frame.
Well, I was kind of functioning under the assumption that at maximum a loop would take 40 years because that's the duration that each of these things has, right? So the idea is that like imagine you're born and then you get to like age 36 or whatever, like you're born 4 years into loop into sector whatever, like sector 5. And then you at 36 the universe, like that sector shuts down, your memories are uploaded to sector 0, and then seamlessly your memories as a 36-year-old are uploaded into the next sector as a 36-year-old who then gets to live to be 76 or whatever, right? Like that's what I understood looping to be, because while your conscious memories move to the next sector and it moves seamlessly as far as you can tell, the previous sector that you just came from, everything shuts down and starts again because they're essentially just dishwashing, like, you know, society over and over, right? That's what I thought. Mm-hmm. And then I thought that if you needed to, you could trigger a loop early in case something bad was happening, right? That's what I thought.
Maybe.
Which fucking Izumi are we talking about here? So when 426 was arrested one loop ago, it became clear that 426 and Izumi of one loop ago are genetically identical, which means that 426 isn't actually Izumi. And we kind of said this, or rather you kind of said this, where you were like, I think there's a good Izumi and a bad Izumi, right? Which is correct. 426 appears to be the bad Izumi. However, if 426 is the bad Izumi, as far as we can tell, the bad Izumi, why is A working with him?
Well, that was weird. I'm not sure whether or not he's working with him or 426 gave him a piece of information that was like factual, and even though A didn't
factually
like it.
Correct. But then like, okay, I guess that's fair. Okay, that makes sense. But then it says, due to the incompatibility between the violent memories of Izumi of 2 loops ago that Moimura transplanted, the gentle artificial personality that Tamao created, Kurabe nearly had a breakdown. To avoid this, Shiba turned those memories into something tangible to allow Kurabe to perceive them as mere dreams. So the Izumi that's in the cat, right? The Izumi that is in the cat was from 2 loops ago, and he was the violent terrorist. That's what that's saying, right?
Yes. But was it in the cat, or was it in the one that kept jumping around from people?
Well, the cat was the one who was manipulating his memories with videotapes and stuff, remember?
Yeah, this is why it's confusing, but like...
And it's purposely confusing. The game's doing this on purpose.
Shiba is 426 that jumped from dying Tamao-san into Kurabe.
Maybe... A little bit of yes, a little bit of no. The Shiba, my understanding, and this might be different, my understanding is that Shiba is purely data, right? I don't think Sheba
That is
or the... I don't think
important.
Sheba or the cat were ever in somebody's body. Because remember, that's his whole objective, was that he wanted to replace Karabe's memories with Izumi's memories, i.e. his violent memories or whatever, so that way he could have a body back.
Yes. And I believe in what is it? The one that jumps around people's bodies.
He's
I know
also
that's the
Izumi,
evil
it's just a
force who's
different
like-
guy. It's just a different
No,
Izumi.
I know. So I'm trying to remind myself where the cat came from.
The cat and Sheba are the same guy, just presenting themselves to do different people in different forms.
See, so because that's like, if I could probably imagine, like, you know, him uploading himself into like multiple people, but once again, I'm just like, I just don't remember how the cat got into Megumi's mind.
For example, we know that the 426 that was in the robot bodies and was like jumping around in the robot bodies, we know isn't the same guy as Sheba / the cat, because Natsuno isn't hallucinating anybody. Right?
Yeah.
Because if that was the same guy, hypothetically, he would just do that same trick on Natsuno because she has a head full of feathers. And it seems like it'd be really fucking easy to manipulate her.
Yeah. Okay.
When the kaiju
well,
appear in 1985, Sheba can't take part in the battle, so he entrusts everything to Karabe. Karabe then activates Sentinel number 13 in order to support Iori Furisaka, who joined the battle before him. Yeah, I remember that. Remember that like weird scene at the very end where he was trying to act all noble, where it's like, well, you gotta fight, and it's like, you're a terrorist.
Well, then once again, it's like he was like, it was like, oh yes, so now you understand, and I'm like, we just missed an entire segment where apparently he was saying something to him, and it actually made sense, and Karabe is like, yes, I understand. I'm like, I don't understand. Why won't you tell me?
So there's a really fascinating thing, and then we'll keep reading this in a second, but there's a really fascinating like facet to this game, which is that like we're only playing 3-hour blocks, actually less, because we do a lot of this, right? We do a lot of this like discussion sort of stuff, but I don't think I would be able to survive playing this game for like 4 hours plus. I'm pretty sure I would have a brain hemorrhage and die. You know? So it's weird because it's like we're playing it at a really slow pace and we're getting the story really slowly. But I feel like if we got this information any faster, I might just like swallow a pipe bomb.
Well,
in 2188, Jiro Izumi has the rank of Major, making him the superior of Takatoshi and Megumi's father, Nozomu. Okay. Izumi looks after Megumi for Nozomu. Okay. When a dispute over the remaining power supply escalates into a shootout, Izumi kills Okino. Following this, Hijiyama, Okina's lover, avenges him by gunning down Izumi and his cohorts. Which is probably why he was arrested to begin with, right? Why he was prisoner 426.
well, apparently, what was
Events
it? Was it
9
him?
and 12 should help understand loops if you're interested. We do that.
If you're confused. I didn't realize that Izumi was the one who killed Okino. But
Yes, we did see that.
After killing Okino,
He said
what
he
is it,
said that
Takatoshi
he killed
like a
Okino,
lot of
yeah.
people. Yeah, because Takatoshi went and he killed a lot more people than just him.
Is this how I'm supposed to find events 19 and 20 or whatever, or 9 and 22? Like, am I literally supposed to do this and then just go to 9? Final countdown. A memory of a dream Iori Furisaka had. 3 teenagers discover an ominous countdown
that's the
amid what seems to
countdown.
be ruins of an alien spaceship.
I think
Well,
the countdown is the reset.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Let's do 22. 22. Tetsuya Ida installs 426's data into an android in order to extract information from him. Before long, Iori Kitsuragi runs in, opposing the plan, take her over the human Kitsuragi's body. Ida attempts to delete 426 once more, but right under his nose, 42 takes over Kitsuragi android and makes him escape. That doesn't seem to explain much about I meant 9 to 22. Oh, so it's everything. So it's like 9. Okay. Escape from the end. A memory of a dream Jiro Karabe had. As the Earth's crust crumbles beneath the buried UFO, the three teens plan an escape from the past. Okino, unable to set a timer on the transmitter, sacrifices himself and allows... Oh yeah, that's interesting. That's the thing.
Is that why potentially
all three of
Okino
them were
doesn't
there,
know
but they're
everything?
remembering it from different perspectives. That's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Two survived. A memory of a dream Jiro Karabe had. Thanks to Okino's sacrifice, Jiro Izumi and Chihiro Moimura were successfully sent back to Sumeri Bridge in the year 2089, with bittersweet glimmer of hope in their hearts that the two of them would begin to move on. And that is in Sector 1. All of these are in Sector 1. Got it. A movie scene. A memory of a dream Jiro Karabe had. The two of them succeed in destroying a facility associated with the Interstellar Development Project, but are quickly detected by authorities. And that is still in Sector 1, though. So it's like, why do they have a facility for developing interstellar stuff? I mean, I guess you still have to do that, right? Like, you can't just hunker down in your... Because once again, I'm still functioning under the assumption that this is a space station floating in space, simulating a world, right? This is them trying to destroy the Deimos factories. Okay. Prisoner 426. One of Jiro Karabe's memories. Prisoner 426, Jiro Izumi, is questioned. So he gets captured after that scene, okay, in an underground interrogation room. Under the strict supervision of Officer Onishi, young Jiro Izumi and Okino are brought in, but neither admits to recognizing him. That's a weird way of phrasing that. Before the interrogation can come to a close, news comes in of a kaiju attack.
Yeah, they started attacking.
Now that's a good. Oh no, right? Because hypothetically they were sent, quote unquote, back in time, but their clones that existed in that sector still existed, right? Oh, and so that's why he's like, we have to destroy this, because if you destroy the Deimos factories, the Deimos don't have like an infinite spawning thing going on. Okay. My name is Tetsuya Ida. Memory of a dream Shu Amaguchi had. Tomi Kitsuragi stands in shock next to her crumbling apartment building as he attempts to console her. Kitaro Miura and Chihiro Miura, Moimura, different people, come to rescue them, and he reveals that his name is Tetsuya Ida. Okay. Once again, that's a memory. That's fine. Relentless nightmare. A memory of a reoccurring nightmare that Jiro Karabe has. Amidst a burning city, he slaughters students one by one. Just as he's about to fire the final shot at Shu Amaguchi, Chihiro Moimura takes him down. So this is him killing the clones because he's like, we have to stop the command module from working. So 426's ultimate goal is still trying to stop the Deimos invasion. He's just going about it as a terrorist.
Well, that's exactly why I was saying. It feels like all of them, at core of it, are trying to do something right, but I think all of them also are going about it the wrong way.
I would like to add a little caveat to that. I think Ida is trying to take advantage of the situation. Right.
Oh, Ida has a personal thing. Yeah.
He's trying to rewrite the world in the way that he wants it to be, which is like alternate methods or whatever, or alternate motives.
Yeah.
A wish entrusted. A memory of a dream Shu Amaguchi had. It's Judgment Day, the day the kaiju have made their assault. In what sector? This is Sector 4. Wait, this is the timeline, right? Like, the thing on the side is the timeline in the specific sectors? Which one's Sector 4 again? Oh, thank you. Saba, think about it. Because the Sector 1 was the furthest in the future from our perspective, right? And then you go backwards 40 years at a time. Because Sector 5 was the one that was back during, like, post-World War II.
Is it our modern is 85? That's Sector 4, then?
85, I think, is Sector 4.
Yeah.
It says it right there. Oh, it literally does. Yeah, Sector 4, 1985. You got me.
Where am I looking at? Where is it? Yeah, okay.
Above where it says destroy city grounds.
Yeah,
Listen! All right. We're trying to remember.
There's a lot of information.
Well, so my question now is, so it's like, because, look, these events, if they occur in this order, right? So we go from Sector 1 to Sector 3 to Sector 2 to Sector 4. Chronologically, like bang, 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 bang.
This is weird.
Because what is this, right? So Okay, so he escapes from Sector 1, flees to Sector 2, but maybe doesn't understand that it's not... Maybe he doesn't understand that it's time travel yet, right? Like, I think he went further back in time from his perspective, quote unquote, without realizing that he went to another sector, and then in that sector, he starts killing people.
Well,
because Sector 2 was like the first one assaulted, I think.
Kaiju started attacking, and he managed to get to Sector 2 instead, right?
Well, that probably helped facilitate his escape. You're certainly right. But then but this one is weird because this is Sector 4 already under attack, but this is so early in the timeline, man. Anyway, to put an end to the fighting, Chihiro Moyamura sacrifices herself to send him back to Sumeri Bridge 16 years into the past. Like, it's so weird because there's so, like, you know what I think is really frustrating? In kind of a good way, but also kind of a frustrating way. We essentially have, like, 15 unreliable narrators. Right?
Yeah.
Because none of them know what's going on. Like, I think she, quote unquote, sends him 16 years in the past because she, at this point, Chihiro Moyamura still thinks that that's real. Right? Reunion. This is 17. A memory of a dream Yuri Fusaka had as she stands atop the bridge. A boy named Tetsuya Ida warps in on a huge walking tank to avoid any further commotion. The two leave the area together. Okay? The League of Darkness. And this is Sector 4 again. A suspicious woman approaches the 70-year-old Ogata. Ogata, reminded of the TV show Kamen Hero, believes her to be one of the villains and runs for his life. Unfortunately for him, she has no trouble giving chase and succeeds in injecting him with nanomachines. So this seems like it's the dawn of the plan to make Sentinels to fight back against the Daimos, right?
She's like, I'm starting early.
Moimura saves Ida from Izumi and then sends him to Sector 0 to get him to go back and warn her of what happened. Right. But Golden Wise, so A, that makes sense, right? Because that's my understanding as well, right? Is that if you're doing anything that is not in an interval of 40 years, you're sending them to Sector 0 temporarily, right? Like, that's what you're doing. You're sending them outside of the loop to then come back in. My question is, when Moimura does that, does she think that it's still actually time travel? Or at this point, does she understand?
At some point, she knows, right? Because that's the scene we just saw with Fuyusaka and A, right?
Correct. She's like, that she knows that it's about sectors and not actual time travel. So I'm wondering, at what point in this timeline does she learn that sectors are an actual thing and that it's not time travel? Because this seems like the beginning of a plan to, like, oh, we're gonna put compatible people in Sentinels, and once again, I believe the compatible people are the non-generated AI personalities. Like, I think that that's like very keen to the narrative. This seems like the dawn of that, almost as if like, because hold on. I don't know if I want to do this right now. This is 18. Hold on. Can I? Nope, that's not what I meant. Manual. No, sorry. Destruction. I'm not doing this right now. Yeah, Ogata's number 1. So he was literally the first one that they injected. That's really interesting. Huh. Get the fuck back in there, all right? We're doing all this shit right now. And we still don't even have all the events, but we're gonna try. All right. Bridge standoff. A memory of a dream Iori Fuyusaka had. Juro Izumi and Chihiro Moyamura have a standoff at Sumeri Bridge, pleading for her to let him pass. He reminds her of their relationship, but she cannot forgive him for his murders in this world, which is Sector 1, because he does commit acts of terror. But didn't she also commit acts of terror, or did she like give up? I guess, or did she
they both destroyed, right? They destroyed a facility, which, like, I'm pretty sure probably had casualties, right?
Also, hold on. Sorry, I'm stupid. Where was he? He's in prison here, right? And then the kaiju attack, and he escapes.
Yeah, so what happened to
Then
Moimura?
what the fuck
Did
is
Moimura get
this?
captured?
No, hold on. What the fuck is this? We're apparently back in Sector 1, not destroyed by kaiju.
Did a loop happen for this sector and they just like went out and came back?
Is the facility, is the sector so vast and so incredible that it can automatically reconstruct the entire thing? Because, like, technically, if you just pause everybody's AI, you can take as long as you need to reconstruct everything. But, like, the Daimos have already attacked at this point, so why is everything fine?
I don't know. I feel like you're starting to like lose it a little bit. I know, I understand that.
I mean, you're saying I'm starting to lose it, but I'm not wrong. It literally says like
no,
it literally
it's
says the kaiju
crazy.
attack, and then we're here and everything's fine.
Well, that's why I said, I was like, did it happen that they left, right? That's why you saw Izumi in 2 or 4 or whatever, and then 1 reset itself, and then they came back?
Right. I guess what I'm saying is the looping process. I thought the looping process was just like taking people's digital memories and like reasserting them or whatever, right? Is there actually a process in which everything can just be reconstructed automatically? I mean, I guess that makes sense, like, because you literally have like AI robots everywhere, but that wasn't really a factor in my mind. I thought that this moment was going to lead to like sector, because you see how like few events there are in Sector 1 after this? I thought like Sector 1 was going to be gone, period. I didn't realize that we were going to come back and things were going to be
what
fine.
You're saying. It's like, why is this stuff happening if the kaiju won?
Exactly.
Over these sectors.
Like, as far as we know, no one has ever successfully suppressed the kaiju. Like, the game has never done that. The loop happens again in Wish and Trusted. Which one's that? Wish and Trusted. The loop happens again in Wish and Trusted. That's why she sends Ida back to warn her.
So the loop spans everything all at once?
So all 5... So you can't loop individual sectors. You loop all 5 of them at once? That's... I mean, okay, I guess. Sorry, it's like, once again, the game is clearly... The game is intended to be confusing, obviously.
Yes.
Alright, consciousness and body. After 8 years of research, Tetsuya Ida has succeeded in developing his first android. And this is in Sector 1. Wait, but it's in Sector 1, but they're below ground because they can't go above surface anymore, right? Wasn't that specifically stated? Kitsuragi, newly awakening as an AI, wants to know what happened to her original self. Moimura gravely informs her of her death at the hands of a certain man. Which that certain man would be Izumi, right? Because Izumi's shooting all of the students. No. That doesn't make any sense. Well, maybe it does. Well, once again, I have to remember, the timeline is not the timeline. Like, this does canonically take place after Ida starts shooting motherfuckers.
Yeah, so people
But it's just
are
in a
already either
physically
flesh
different
clones
place.
or AI clones at this point.
I mean, I would argue that the, like, event number... Actually, holy shit, we do have a lot of events that exist off this timeline. Final Countdown is the first one we have access to where it actually shows up in the sectors. So all of these events must be before Project Arc or whatever it's called completed. Which makes sense, because this is all shit in space. And then Resurrection. Which is where 426 comes from.
And I think a good chunk of this may be Tomi, right? Oh, Tomi's left behind in the body, the puppet that, I don't even know what it's called. The AI body that can't move.
The
And so,
android.
like, probably a bunch of stuff happens with her, between her and say Amaguchi, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. Ida. Yeah. So that's probably what we're gonna get in like this before and maybe after section.
I do so because we still have to go back to the actual
the new
lines.
I think there's going to be a whole chunk of Tomi trying to stop Ida, but then Ida's going to go off the chain and.
You think that's going to be her?
Like
you think that's going to be her campaign?
Well, that's the thing. Ida keeps on manipulating her, right? In multiple like forms.
Yeah.
Because don't forget about freaking Glasses Ida. Glasses Ida is crazy.
Which is not the same guy. Which is weird, right? Like I don't because I know you said that, or I know that there's a thing where it's like, oh, he chose to like start acting and looking more cool or whatever. And, like, that's the Ida that looks like the scientist guy. But then the Ida that is, like, government man apparently is the same guy, despite not looking like him at all. So I don't know what that's all about.
Government man.
Government man and scientist man, you know? All right. We already read this. Okay. Iori Fuyusaka... Oh, no, we already read these.
No.
Fuyusaka is originally a resident of Sector 1, and the parents she knows aren't her biological family. Moyamura was transplanting her own memories into Fuyusaka, but due to 426's influence, Moyamura's memories are perceived as a hazy dream. That makes sense. I understand that. When the kaiju appear in 1985, Fuyusaka musters up her courage and activates Sentinel number 15, which Sekigahara passed on to her. That all makes sense to me. That all seems good. Megumi Yakushiji.
Do we have to?
Yes, we do, because unfortunately she is part of the narrative, so we do have to understand. How about let me
just read it fast?
No, because we have to understand. Cat. If anything, this might help.
Megumi encounters Cat, who asks her to get into a contract to bring Kurabe's memories.
Back to Kurabe's past memories. Cat asks her to bring her...
I summarized all of it perfectly fine.
And bring back Kurabe's memories if she helps fully fulfill his mission. Got it.
Okay, she's very affectionate with Kurabe. And she moves into his house forcefully, and
moreover,
she cooks well.
She's a skilled cook. Yeah.
Yeah. She enters into a contract with Fluffy, who shoots a bunch of people.
But it's not all of them, though. That's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, technically 6. We're counting herself.
She shoots herself. Also, she
also shoots Kurabe.
Yeah, so that list isn't complete. Why is that list not complete?
I do not know.
Unless it's literally a different gun. And she just doesn't know. Yakushiji is the only one who is able to see Fluffy. Correct.
Tamao-san approaches her to be like, you can live with him if you agree to these conditions.
Well, the conditions were accept the rental agreement.
No, it doesn't say.
No, sorry. The condition. No, but I'm trying to remember. The conditions were accept him who he is now and take care of him.
Yeah, I believe so. Do not pressure him if you remember. Magical gun.
Unable to handle the crushing weight of remorse and guilt for forcing everyone into battle, Yakushiji shoots herself.
After she shoots everyone else.
But
it's weird. And then Izumi's like, I remember everything, and I love you, and I hate my life when that happened. Yakushiji realizes that Fluffy intended to...
Well, my thing is that I find it really weird that it's like, that this implies that she didn't shoot all 13 Sentinels. Right? Like, if anything...
I don't know. She shot a bunch of people.
No, but what I mean to say is that I feel like this line would be more interesting if it listed out all 15 people. Because then we could just pick the 2 who weren't actually in the combat, and we'd be like, oh, she missed them. Yeah. Like, it's weird that the cat isn't like, oh, shoot Okino or something.
Well, that's what I said. Didn't Okino still get shot?
I don't know. No, you're right, because she goes and she saves Ogata, right? Or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, she shoots the both of them. So that's all. Okay, so she does shoot them, but they're not part of the contract? I don't know. Fucking whatever. Megumi Yoshiji was 8 years old in 2188. As humanity faced the brink of extinction, her father, Nozdormu, entrusted his daughter to Major Izumi in hopes that at least she could survive. I didn't want to say anything while you were going through the story to not affect your opinions, but yeah, I also hate Megumi. I mean, you said it multiple times while we were going through it.
Yeah, you didn't even say it. I think I probably said it enough that you're by multiple periods in the game. You're like, I agree, I hate her, which I'm glad. I'm glad to have another person to hate her, and it's not just because like maybe her character sucks, but it's also I think we all relate to, like, I think we just don't like how she's written as well.
Okino straps Hijiyama to a chair in an abandoned factory and analyzes Hijiyama's mind. However, Okino has already been inside his mind when adjusting code. So this is literally just reminding you, like, hey, remember when Okino was just doing, like, sexy BDSM stuff? The Hijiyama of 2188 was in a romantic relationship with Okino. He murders Juro Izumi to avenge Okino's death during the shootout in Sector 4? Huh?
I don't know.
However, he was severely injured in the fray and succumbs to his wounds soon after.
Anyway, Golden, I'm choosing to assume that also when Juro says he loves her, that it's literally like a familial thing because he took her under
We
his
literally... I mean, I don't know. That's a good point.
No. That's what it is. That's what I'm choosing to believe, because any other way I will hate it.
In a literal sense, it might actually just be misplaced affection, because you're right. It's like it might have been paternal in some way because he was like in charge. He was in charge of taking care of her.
Yuki-chan with Natsuno, there was a mistaken case of what the reality of that relationship was, when in reality it's like parental feelings that have persisted from yeah. So
that is very interesting though. But then it's weird because Amaguchi does not feel the same way towards Tomi that Ida does. Ida loves Tomi with all of his heart, whereas Amaguchi, the one that we play, is much more into Yuki-chan.
It's a fundamental, since he's the one who caused a lot of these problems, it was fundamental that they swapped It was fundamental that they swapped who he has affection
I don't think
for.
they did that. I have not seen any evidence that they did that intentionally. If anything, they imply in the dialogue that he ends up liking Yuki-chan because he's living a different life. Right? Because Ida grew up just as a normal person, whereas Amaguchi grew up as a rich kid. Right?
Well, also don't forget though, it's Tomi and Amaguchi are childhood friends still. But
correct, but they're not romantically interested in each other, which is interesting. Right? Tomi is interested in Ogata, and then Amaguchi is interested in Yuki.
Both of them. Someone injected a "you like delinquents."
You like delinquents now.
Really
how funny would that be if that was actually a thing that Okino did? Okino is there's a version of Okino that's just living in Sector 0, just being wouldn't it be funny if you were into delinquents now, and just inserts that as a prank? Anyway. Ogata is the original holder of the decode key, but Natsuno Minami is the one who currently has it. Is the original holder of the decode key.
Yeah, Okino was Ogata, you had it, but by the time I got to you, it switched places.
Right, but who gave it to him?
Fortune.
As far as we knew, I thought as far as we knew, the decode key, the thing that attracts the Daimos to you, right? As far as we knew, I thought that was from Ida, right? Because Ida tricked Shiranome into putting it into Sekigahara's ship. So wouldn't, by that logic, Sekigahara be the initial holder? Unless that's a different thing, right? That might just be different code. But the problem is that they call all this shit the decode, despite the decode being different. When the kaiju appear in 1985, Ogata swears to protect Tomi and activate Sentinel number 10. Got it. At an energy dispute over Project Arc, Ogata revealed he'd come armed, which resulted in a shootout. In the ensuing chaos, Ogata was killed. So this is the other thing. So this is a dispute, a shootout that occurs on Sector 4, which, as far as we know, isn't the last one. Maybe 4 was the last one that they constructed, or finished construction, maybe. But, what the hell is the energy dispute about? Who cares? Sector...
I'm not sure why this shootout happened.
But, so, my thing that I'm curious about, something in Sector 4 must be drawing way more power, because the thing is that obviously the sector that would consume the least amount of power would be Sector 5, right? Because it's the oldest. And you would expect that as time moves forward and the cities get bigger and more power hungry, you would assume like Sector 1 would be the one that consumes the most power, right? So why is Sector 4 the one that's having the dispute? Like, how much power do you really need for like CRTs and like cars and shit, right? There must be something unique in Sector 4 is all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Okino. In order to prevent the kaiju from destroying the world, Okino searches for whoever is sending the decode signal that calls the kaiju. Correct. Back in 1944, when Okino called himself Doji, he operated on Takatoshi and Miura to ensure their synchronicity with the Sentinels. In doing so, he implanted a living component into their heads. Right. So they both. So that's where they got the ability to activate the Sentinels. Miss Moimura. Big titties. Anyway. In order to become compatible, she tried to overwrite her memories and personality onto Fuyusaka and take over her body, but she gave up on it after hearing that a loop was no longer possible. After hearing that a loop was no longer possible. Why was it no longer
possible? I know we just saw this memory, but why is it no longer possible?
Why is it no longer possible? Well, she said that it was because somehow they're decoupled from Sector 0. You think that's what the cat was doing? Like the quote unquote forcing them into the battlefield was actually severing them from Sector 0? Because remember, if they're severed from Sector 0 and they die, the decode that's like calling the Daimos won't be replicated. Right? So I think that's why she stops trying to take over Iori's body, because Iori is the one who received the nanomachines, right, to do the Sentinel or whatever. I think that's the reason why she's like, oh, I'll stop doing this, because it's like, well, she's doomed in a literal sense, like in a mortal sense, she's doomed. Oh my god! An artificial personality 48Q is the only that only Kurabe is able to see. Shiba claims. In Japanese, oh right, they explain the fucking like play on words that works in Japanese like but not English.
Yeah, so that's a whole explanation. His true identity is 426, but like Kurabe and Izumi's memories are incompatible. Moimura tried to transplant them
into a medium that Kurabe could understand. He tries to make it more digestible, which makes this art much more sinister, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, I'm holding the...
Kind of funny. We have 2 mystery points. A mysterious talking cat who offers Megumi a deal. He enters a contract, blah, blah, blah. Though he looks like a cat and seen around they're 2 completely different animals. Only Yakushiji is able to see him. While Yakushiji lies unconscious on the floor after shooting herself with a magical gun, Fluffy speaks to her about his true motives, then leaves. At this time, he's been talking to her about magic when his true goal concerns the Sentinels.
This may be the explanation. Fluffy's
true identity is 426. In order to...
Izumi.
Sorry, I'll let you finish. You go.
No, yeah. In order to prevent the kaiju invasion from destroying the world, Fluffy had Yakushiji inject nanomachines into the witches, which unlocked the entire Daimos game system. Okay, that's, I think, the big thing here. Although this means that the kaiju will be an even greater threat, it also unlocks beneficial features that help in fighting off the kaiju. This includes obtaining meta chips every time a kaiju is defeated and using meta chips to strengthen the Sentinels. So this is the game changer.
So that's the thing that actually happens, is that by getting shot, these motherfuckers are able to level up video game style.
I do love, like, look, this is literally one of probably the biggest pieces of information that we keep on asking ourselves, and it was hidden behind, what is the name of this? Fluffy.
All right, I don't even remember who Shintaro is, but let's unlock it. What?
Hey, this is the cat.
Oh, this is the regular cat.
Yeah, that's in Sakura High. That is lucky because you find loose chain. Well, actually, why is it called Shintaro? Does Shintaro mean lucky in Japanese?
I don't know.
Let me look that up. I'm gonna look that up.
Man who looks like Jiro Kurabe, prisoner E426, captured in 2104.
No, it just means new sun. New great sun.
He's known as 426. And then 426.
No idea why it's called Shintaro.
When the Tamao android was being used as 426's body, A. Sekigahara discovered his true identity and destroyed it. Soon after, Jiro Kurabe happens to pass by the destroyed remains, and 426 transfers into his nanomachines. Okay. Kurabe sees him as Shiba. Megumi Yakushiji sees him as Fluffy. But like, she's not infected, right? Or is she infected?
Well, that's the thing. That's the only thing that I'm like, I don't really understand. Did she get hit with something?
Well, because remember remember.
Pause. It's she's not really infected per se. Remember, it's only in relation to what is it, Kurabe, that she sees Fluffy.
Right, that's what I was about to say. Because the cat like flickers and disappears.
Yeah. She's 426 is projecting, I think,
but
himself.
It's weird that he can project himself, but to only a specific person. That's weird, right?
No, I don't know whether or not it's only a specific person, or he only chooses to project to her because she's like, I can manipulate you.
No, but regardless of what his intentions are or not, the fact that he can project himself onto somebody's perception without actually infecting them is kind of crazy. Or at least to our knowledge, she's not infected. She might be, I don't know. A. Sekigahara destroys the Tamao android after finding out that 426 has taken over her body. Soon after, 426 manages to transfer himself into Jiro Kurabe's nanomachines and becomes Kyoto Shiba. The Tamao android, now an empty shell, is disposed of at a nearby dumpster. Yes, correct. Ampule. Moimura was implanting her own memories into Fuyusaka, which is the cause of Fuyusaka's...
Why is this one Ampule?
Well, it's how she was injecting the nanomachines. She would like manipulate the nanomachines and then use the ampule to inject them. Interlocutor. It's unknown who injected the interlocutors into the 15 students. Furthermore, what the fuck? It's unknown who injected? Fuck you. Furthermore, more than 80% of the interlocutor processes are devoted to an unknown function. The decode uses a relatively minor portion of what within the remaining 20%. That's true. We don't know what the other 80% of the interlocutor's functions are. I would assume it. I mean, if
also they said we don't know who because maybe you could have unlocked this information before doing.
That's true. Deimos code is code that summons the Deimos. Duh. Also called the decode for short, it is broadcasted by someone designated as the commander, which gives the signal for the kaiju to attack. The decode's function is to maintain a link to one commander and access 3 locations at regular intervals: Universal Control, Automated Factory in Sector 1, and the satellite in orbit. Yeah, we still don't know anything about the satellite, but that might be part of Tomi's thing, since she is Hatsune Miku.
Oh yeah, being the pop star.
Yeah.
Yes.
Using metachips allows for expansions and improvements of the Sentinels' armament. Yeah, but that's also weird, because, like, what's causing the upgrades? Right? Wouldn't that be the same factories that are pumping out Deimos like nobody's business? Kaiju. The Deimos is the generic name for the kaiju, and there are many types. Some models can be as large as entire buildings, while others are about the size of a large car. Anything else? Yes? Colony and satellite order. A dispute over whether to allocate the remaining energy towards Project Arc or life support.
Oh, that was what it was.
That's interesting. So Sector 4 must have been the final sector that they were constructing, period. And it was like, hey, are we going to sacrifice the remainder of human? Oh, you know what it probably was? You know what the dispute probably was? Which one do we think counts as humanity? An infinitely replicating humanity that is able to like live out this like fictitious history over and over, or the actual people
try to save them,
or like the actual people that are alive right now, but if we choose one or the other one gets shut down.
Yeah.
Gas explosion. TV news report on a news report on TV said that it was a gas leak that caused the explosion and damaged electronic devices. We knew that. Nightmare. During this time, 426 believed that the only way to escape from his eternal loop was to kill all of the compatible ones. Okay, so he was just mistaken. However, 426 later discovers that another escape method that utilizes the mechanics of the Deimos simulation game. Right. He understands that
why there's,
you can beat the game. Like, if you beat the game, the Deimos shut down. right? Because it's all based on a video game. So
so there is like a couple of 426s. It just depends
this eternal loop was to kill all the compatible ones. But why? Yes. Why? Why would that make? Wouldn't the loop? Like, I believe, once again, I believe this is him just being mistaken. Because even without the 15 compatible ones, wouldn't the loops just continue? But it would be the normal loops just without the Deimos? As far as I know.
Maybe.
Canned cat food. Canned cat food that Okino buys for the stray cat, Shintaro. Shintaro keeps showing up at Skirt High ever since Okino fed him one day, so Okino starts to bring the canned cat food for him daily. Deimos game! Oh, you read this one. Fuck it.
Online full dive game released in 2154 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of Mighty Kaiju Deimos. The objective of the game
Oh
is
my
to
god, the
survive disaster.
VS4. You see that? Sorry.
Yeah. Caused by the Mighty Kaiju Deimos, players become residents of a major city 5 days before the kaiju appear and get to experience the fated day of their invasion in this simulation survival game. From an old woman who runs the cigar shop to a young man who seeks to avenge his parents, 10 million independent NPCs, wow, that's a lot, lead their lives in a digital metropolis that's 30 kilometers long. Yeah. Even experts were astounded by the elaborately constructed AI, their behavior indistinguishable from real humans. The highlight, however, is the tremendous power of the Mighty Kaiju Deimos. The doomsday clock is ticking. Blast through Mighty Kaiju Deimos with an arsenal of mech suit weaponry and fight to defend humanity. Developed by Vanillaware LTD. Whoa! That's really funny. Okino borrowed a portion of this game's internal code structure when creating Universal Control. That's
so
really
what Okino probably borrowed was literally just the AI simulation portion. Right? Because it's like, wow, this is incredible that you can simulate millions of people accurately. We can do, and that's probably what Okino stole without realizing that Okino also stole the parts that are like a giant robot attack, right?
Yeah.
Cheek scar. Right, and that looks like the number 17 on purpose. A gunshot wound from when she was shot by the syringe gun injects nanomachines that add code to summon the Sentinels, along with a code that expands their capabilities. Right. Okay. Jesus Christ. What time are we? Oh my god, Sabo, we're only at an hour and 30 minutes?
Well, we spent a cool chunk of time reviewing and talking about superheroes.
I can't believe that we spent like fucking 20-something minutes talking about superheroes, and I'm so fucking exhausted. This game kicks my ass, dude. It's because it's too thinky. There's too many thinky going on.
We like thinky, but this is definitely a level of thinky that's like not something we normally encounter.
This is like when I'm like, dude, I love puzzles, but then the puzzle gets like a little bit too deep, and I'm like, I fucking hate puzzles.
Oh man.
What are we talking about? A payphone?
Another one. They've already got like 4 at the intersection. How many phone booths do they really need?
She's like, oh.
Well, she's like a tourist. Well, she's like a. Well, she's like a. Yeah, I'll say she's like a tourist because she's from 2025, right? I think.
Yeah, she's from the future.
Whoa, that bus is so old, and all these cars are so blocky.
They look so weird. Wow, she really is just a tourist.
I think I've seen signs like that before. They're just like in those retro videos I've seen under the Showa era tag. This is kind of surreal. Even the stoplights here are huge.
Even the stoplights here. Oh, hello.
Off on your own, Kisaraki.
Do you mind?
Wait, okay, for real though. They seriously haven't invented smartphones yet?
It's the 80s! What are you talking about?
This is so crazy. How do they even talk to each other?
Man,
phone still exists.
I want to point out that if we had done this when we had unlocked her, this would be a psychotic scene, right?
Yeah. He's like, God, this is annoying. It's like Goto.
Oh my god.
He's
They
like,
really
she's
are.
like delinquent.
Because he's the classic delinquent.
I can't believe that, hey?
What?
He's like, excuse me, I'm an actual
Sorry, I
person.
just can't stop laughing.
That's rude
What
of
is
you.
that? A pompadour? The Showa era's so weird.
And what the hell are you laughing at? Huh?
Your hair, duh. I just said.
Your hair, dude. I love this voice actress. Your hair, duh. You just said that.
You trying to start shit?
What even is the Showa?
And what the hell are... Huh?
Your hair.
You trying to...
Was it just? I guess she doesn't know. He's like,
Excuse her. I'm afraid she's a little, well, she has difficulty with social interaction.
And then they became sweethearts. Remember, ladies, if you want a guy to fall for you, just make fun of his hair. It's
I
easy.
will say,
Sound like some kind of weirdo.
one of the lesser. She's not obviously as bad as Megumi, but like she is a little annoying.
I'll give her a talking to once we're home.
God damn. Well, there
Stop
goes my
causing
day.
problems.
Oh, poor Goto. He's just. I mean, dude, imagine that though. You're kind of just like chilling, and this girl comes up to me like, "What a loser! Look at that
What's
hair!" And
with
he's
your
just
fucking hair, idiot? But she's all like.
And don't forget, Goto's he's a little bit of a softie because, like, don't forget, he's got like a very, what they consider like a feminine handkerchief and stuff like that. So he's
Yeah.
just like a sweetheart in like a aggressive, like, front.
Are those in Shikishima? The military corps? All they care about is getting their hands on future technology. You sure we're not being used?
That is not your concern.
That is not your concern. Shut the fuck up.
I remember seeing that company in the news, but they make everything from fridges to missiles.
What a variety.
Is she? Wait. Is Shikishima supposed to be?
Don't forget.
Isn't there that Japanese company that everyone learns that they make military tech and they're like, what?
Yeah, so they're like, I think people in the past maybe were more like, oh, the company that makes fridges, like, they were much more on that kind of side versus like weaponry, I guess. At least that's what people knew. Commonplace people. Ooh, someone's calling me.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember the name of the company, but I thought that was like a thing.
They've got tons of factories.
Sakura High. I trust you know where to find. It's the same school. I expect you'll adjust quickly.
That is not my school. Everyone from that class is old enough to be my mom. Don't act like it's the same. We left mine back in 2025. So in 2025, I would have turned 16 next month. But now, I'm way back in 1985. So like, how old am I?
Your body has it. Your body still goes through the
I was like, you're
time
still
the same
16,
way.
lady. Like,
Yeah.
20. Now I'm way back. So take me back to my own time.
I thought I explained this already. The world was destroyed.
Okay, fine. Let's say that's true.
right, and
wonder
from this
why her
perspective,
and
and from
Megumi
this
aren't
perspective,
together.
it would make sense because, wow, man, us doing Miura's campaign early because you were into that whole fucking like Imperial Army
And
aesthetic.
I look, in the end, he was a cutie pie. Okay, I was very happy with it.
still killed a bunch of Chinese people for no reason. But it is interesting that it's like because we did that first, we knew that the time travel must be fucked up, right? If we had done this first, this would make sense because like the future being destroyed and going back to the past chronologically makes sense. Whereas because Miura was like, oh, the aliens destroyed 1940, that doesn't make any sense.
Though also, I wonder why she's not with Megumi. Because remember, I think we saw if I'm
Megumi
thinking
was
it
like
correct, her
Megumi
and
was also
Megumi,
with her, correct? Yeah.
We're in the future, and I think this happens after. So both of them get taken. I'm gonna say back. Get taken back.
Well, what I think happened, I think Megumi went forward. I think Megumi went to Sector 1. Or, no, sorry, 2025 would be Sector 3. So I think one of them went to Sector 2 and the other one went to Sector 4.
I mean, I think this is something you could check the timeline, potentially, but I don't know how hard it would be
we'll
find
get
them.
to it eventually. At some point, when we finish all of this shit, we're gonna have the full timeline, and we are gonna not read every single thing, but we're gonna be like, all right, what the fuck happened?
I'm gonna need a breakdown of this, yeah.
Be there. It's already too late. I doubt you.
Yeah, your parents are dead, and here you are laughing about a guy's pompadour and making fun of him.
I didn't want to get dragged into the... Am I supposed to just take it? Whatever you say?
Yes.
Precisely. You should count yourself lucky to have escaped with us.
You know what would be the most interesting if we do, or at least to me, if we go into Goto's campaign and it's all his like private thoughts, like we actually get his internal monologue where he is fucking freaking out at all times because he's so calm and collected on the outside. That'd be really interesting if he's like, I don't know what the hell's happening. I'm just trying to do my best.
Tommy's also doing very much a teen thing right now where he's just like, we saved your life. And she's like, but do I have to listen to you?
Still.
You know, I'm like, okay.
Need is a little... I gotta make them an offer they can't...
Nice. Okay. Interesting.
Until further notice, here, do not act on your own. Remain inconspicuous.
Do not act on your own.
And for now, simply attend school as usual. Am I clear?
Right. I forgot this is
Like,
still.
but
I forgot this is the
people telling me
prologue.
what to do. Ooh. Oh, these are the old.
Sammy, did you check out
thing.
all those books? What are they? So yeah, right. I gotta get leverage. So in 2025, but now I'm way back. So Shikishima's, you always see their branches on Employer of the Year. Back in the Meiji era, they were shipbuilders, but they expanded into aviation and a bunch of other. During the war, they did a lot of weapons art, and now they make everything from home appliances. Shikishima Industries is just one.
That sounds like a monopoly.
Hey, do you mind if I take a look?
Not what the word monopoly means.
They're not that interesting.
I thought she said you're not that interesting, and I was gonna be like, holy shit.
Let's see. Business Quarterly? Corporate Guides. Economic Report. This is impressive. Are you studying for a career in business? Not really.
Then why'd you check them out?
Looking for some leverage.
There's your answer.
Dirt on some big shady corporation.
Oh, right,
So
okay.
then I could, like, control them a little. Huh?
Are you kidding me? Control them a little?
God,
Nah,
she's
this
such
is
a-
where I'm like,
she's
just like
such
a teen
teenager.
to think that they could like influence the big people.
Hey, you remember how back when we were doing dialogue with a tiny baby child, I was like, why the fuck is her dialogue so far so far above her character? It's interesting here because fucking what's her name? Lardo? God, what's her name? Miwa. Miwa is taller than Tomi, but yet their dialogue is at the same horizontal level. So it's clear. So it's clear that the actual like asset, like character asset, is always the same. It's just the sprite that gets swapped out, right?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I could do this in a snap if I had internet here. Manually searching through books? So inconvenient.
True. Internet.
You know, net profits or something.
You're funny.
Check her. How does one person sleep that much?
Because
just
her
having
brain is
big
being
nurse.
fucked with by Big Titty Nurse. Like, give her a break,
It
man.
wasn't hard to find things on Chic. It's just like stock market stuff. I should have known. Nothing I could use as leverage.
Do you know any dirt?
There's this company called Shikishima Industry. You know anything about They're the ones who make ships and things, right?
That's interesting. That would be her perspective.
I have this old friend. His father works for them, I think. Seriously? Miwako, can you do me I want you to introduce me.
So this is gonna be the thing that she has in her campaign. Like the thing that we learn about is Shikishima Industries. That's actually really interesting if that's the case. Because genuinely, I haven't really been thinking about them because it's like, yeah, it's just a corporate entity. Like they're just the ones that built all this stuff.
Sure.
I work for one of those.
Yes. Those big megacorps always have shady stuff hiding in their HQ. One step closer to getting the dirt.
Are you a fucking dweeb? What's wrong with you?
Oh,
Oh, also, by the way, sorry. Did you notice that was also the old building?
Yes, I did. I mentioned that.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Isn't that's weird, right?
So I think she came back earlier than what I was perceiving at first.
So do you think that it's a thing? Do you think that it's a thing where it's like within the next couple months or so, it's like, oh, the new building?
Yes. I wonder how she
This is
gets
way
over
back.
there. But yeah.
Because it's not 1940s, but it is before the new building is completed. That's interesting.
Did you see it's like behind the science room? So it's referencing this as being their modern day.
You said your friend goes to this. They're still not here. Did you get them?
Is this Ogata?
No. Did they just dip? Don't worry. You'll be here.
I think I'm praying that this is Ogata because that would be really funny.
That's incredible. My old friend Ogata.
Called it.
It's Pompadour guy.
Hold on. What's he doing? This is my old friend, Nenji Ogata. You're kidding.
So, where's she at? You said some girl was looking to ask me out?
What? Well, that would be her.
And he's gonna be like, you?
You're the chick who shat on my hair. Real dog face, aren't you?
The heck is that supposed? I take it you're not calling me a cute puppy.
Yes, he just said you made fun of his hair.
What did you say to this guy? Just that a girl I knew wanted to tell him something.
And also Ogata's kind of got like fluffy stuff in the brain, so that's why he's like, going out with me?
I'm standing right here.
The feeling's mutual. Please.
Oh, enemies to lovers. Let's go.
There you are. I've been looking.
Except she was the one who insulted him first, and she's just being edgy right now because
What the hell?
she's Tsundere or whatever.
Whoa.
I don't know.
Did she just hit? Also, panty shot. But did she just hit an invisible thing?
Huh?
She was embarrassed. I don't know. Like I said, I saw electricity, so that was weird. They're not there. They got
what the
taken.
I
fuck?
sworn I just saw them.
They got teleported. How though?
Why?
Who? What? Where? When? And why?
What the hell?
Usami-chan. Oh God, you weren't waking up. I thought you might have died. What? I don't know. There was some kind of flash. Then we were here.
Apocalypse. Dang, that'd be really freaky.
So Sector 3 is her time, isn't it? Sector 3 would be 2025.
Maybe? So this is her world. Look, lady, it's all ruined.
Still alive over there, Captain Pompadour?
My name
Is
Neigh
Ogata.
Ogata. Get it straight, dog face.
Oh, excuse me, Captain. I'm Tomi Kisaragi. Don't give me any stupid nickname.
All right, smart.
You're the one who insulted his hair first. I will hold that over you.
I'm not gonna lie, his hair is kind of funny.
Even if that's the case, okay? I feel like he actually genuinely felt bad afterwards. It's like, okay, you were just being mean. Does he know? Why?
No, I
okay.
think he's just able to look at what the world looks
I
like.
know the city got leveled. You saw that flash, right? Must have been a nuke.
Oh, interesting. Okay, that would make
But are
sense
they
given the perspective, because from their
places?
perspective, that was only like 40 years ago, so that would definitely still be on their mind, right?
But like, look, like where they're at, it's a road. They're not even in the same place as before. So even if they got nuked,
Right,
where
but
they're at is unusual.
Saba, listen. If we were watching this scene, but like without all the knowledge that we have from all the other campaigns and stuff, we would also have no idea. Right? Like I don't disagree with
they're
you.
having
Like
a reasonable response. They have a reasonable response. I'm saying that, like, I think us as players are able to notice that they're probably also in a different location.
Way I
Yeah.
figure it. The blast must have knocked us all the way over.
Okay, see, that's their excuse then. Okay.
Never mind. Weird.
Hey,
You're like a big greasy roach. I bet you
Okay.
could survive a nuke no problem.
You're really insulting someone right now when you're in the middle of this scenario. Is he like? Okay, what's happening here?
He into that shit.
you got a better idea? What the
No,
hell
he's
else
not.
could happen?
I guess he's embarrassed that he That made me
Wrong.
embarrassed. I don't think
Saba
it's
doesn't
blush.
understand guys.
If we
I don't. You may think what you may think.
So if it's nuclear war, then there's radiation everywhere. We're going to die. We have to run. We're going.
Okay. I'm sorry, this is kind of cute. She's.
I'll try.
I mean, I would agree with Miwako. I would be freaking out. And Nagata's like, fine, if you're a know-it-all, figure it out.
Shikishima, you always back in the mate, but they during the war, and now Shikishima.
I wonder if maybe you just run. I wonder if you just
Miwako
run
is the
around a
best.
bit, and then you run around a little bit, and they're like, "Oh, whoopsies! Someone got teleported," and then yank you guys back.
This is Keiaki-cho. Huh? Oh, you're right. He must be near
He's
the
up.
shopping
The
district.
hell? You know how far that is from
So, oh god, the blast couldn't have got us here.
Think they all evacuate?
Oh, then where's everyone? Miwako. Dad.
Now you can talk to Nunji.
Well, no, he's grayed out, so it would be the same
You
dialogue.
hear that?
Was it the Deimos?
Yeah, it is the
A
diamond.
rescue helicopter?
That does not look like a rescue helicopter.
No.
That ain't some kind of bug, is it? No way.
Oh no, did Miwako go in there and there's something in there? I hope she's not dead.
I can't check. I'm not allowed.
This isn't the city you two. It's hard to tell with everything messed up. I think we're in the year 2020.
2025? Are you crazy?
This is my home. Well,
Well, you got proven that this place is not doing good.
I came from the future.
So they
What if
made
you
this
could just
game.
drop on
They
someone?
made this game in 2025, and that just so happens to be 80 years from, like, after the war, right? So, like, what happens if they had made this game in 2035? What's the time there? That'd be 90 years, right? So I guess the game would have just changed, and it would have been 45-year intervals instead of 40-year intervals.
Maybe.
Because I feel like they started from 2025 for obvious reasons, you know? Yeah.
I found someone else.
It's so
back there.
funny.
Is that A
It
or
must be-
Shinonome?
it must be
Like,
A.
what are we thinking? Yeah.
Wow, what a crazy prologue. My head is...
I think at least we'll be able to go through these a little bit more quickly because we understand the context.
Yeah. Oh, holy shit, you guys have been stuck here? Oh, it's a Shinonome. Shinonome.
How's Senpai? She was struggling for a but I think she's calmed down. We need to get her to a doc. Maybe, but how are we... Shinonome Senpai. Do you think she came here at the same time? Probably. We'll figure it out when she wakes up. Anyway, once that moron, let's decide what to do from here. Okay.
That
God.
moron gets back.
Oh, there you are.
Nice of you to drop that.
Yay!
You've got some nerve.
What?
I take my eyes off you for 1 second, and you just go running off looking for your own house? We were waiting for you, you know.
Yeah? And how's that sickly looking second you?
Well, she hasn't woken up yet.
You were stuck here either way.
You're really gonna give me that? So how was it?
Before we get into that, here.
You see, he's probably just gonna go get food.
Machine. You too.
Like, I don't mind enemies to lovers, but having a character that just, like, Ogata says anything and she's like, aren't you an idiot? Like, why would you think that? And, like, what Ogata was doing was actually fine.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
That's a bit of an annoying trope.
I'm just saying that. I'm just saying that
personality type.
I know this person. I have met this person many, many, many times in my life. So it's like I don't find it surprising, I guess. Remember during Shinonomi's story when she wakes up next to them. Kinda.
Oh,
don't know if
yes,
that's a
I do
lie.
remember,
Yeah.
though I don't remember, like, as much of the context of, like, what happened before or after.
You're thirsty, right? It ain't cold anymore.
He actually put fucking nanomachines in it.
Hey, I found a calendar when I was digging around. The year on it was 2025. Guess this really is the future.
Man, just thinking about how different this game. Like, I wonder if there is a like if you could find online a like, this is the best way to play the game, like jumping from campaign to campaign in order to have the reveals happen organically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where I looked, it's no different from.
Because it's like how many scenes have we seen that just don't hit quite as hard because we know it's not time travel, right?
Dead ones everywhere.
This would be it's a really interesting question of the question you just proposed, because it's like,
So, did you find your house?
what is there even a best way to experience the narrative, you know?
Wasn't looking so hot.
What about my place?
Like essentially you would have to take every scene, like every individual chapter, right?
Like, this is something you would ask the creators, like, what would you have wanted them to learn? Or
Well, so what I was
work?
saying was that you would have to take every individual chapter and then sort them from like least to most knowledge acquired, or acquired or required at that time, right? Because it's like you would have to string along just how much you know by a lot in order for it to like be quote unquote like the most satisfying, I guess.
Another one was real stocky. The size of a damn building. They were just lying all over the place. I never liked creepy crawly things.
No, actually, yeah, that's true. Because remember, after they destroyed everything in 1945, they just stopped, right? So
Yeah.
is that the point of the video? Is that them functioning on the video game logic where it's like, oh, you lost the game, so now we're just waiting for you to restart, which is the loop, right?
Oh, interesting.
That is kind of neat.
What an interesting thought.
I couldn't stand to look at them too long.
How did you know they were dead?
How do you think? They were torn apart. It was pretty obvious. What? You need to see it to believe.
Oh,
I'm gonna check out the kaiju.
Hey, wait, Miwako. Stay back with that.
stepping like a man, stepping like a man.
Dead as a doornail, right?
What about the big fuck you one in the background?
This is some kaiju. Looks
Who was the one that was stuck in this location for a while because they wouldn't attack? I think that was Natsuno, maybe?
It was Natsuno, yeah.
Come to think of it, I was talking to Natsuno. Maybe this thing's a big alien weapon.
Speaking of Natsuno.
Is this a control pick?
Did he see
For
something?
an alien machine, it looks. Guess we're not so different.
Because it's not alien. It's
Oh my
not
god, what if the
alien.
robots start appearing? That'd
What's
be
up?
crazy.
Nothing. Just thought I saw someone over there in the rubble.
No, right, because we know that the androids are real and that the androids kind of, I guess, went nuts, I guess? That's actually a good point. Why are the androids attacking? Because the androids aren't part of the decode, I think. At least I don't think.
Where? Maybe your eyes are playing tricks on.
I swear I saw. Oh shit! Kisaragi, don't be stupid.
What's your deal?
Haha, they were androids.
What is that?
Get back in here.
Wow. Tommy has no sense of danger at all.
And it is really interesting because, like, once again, just kind of repeating myself here, but, like, if we had started with this, which I knew we couldn't because we had to do either Juro or Iori and stuff, right? But, like, just starting, like, if we didn't know about all this extra bullshit that was happening in the story, this would be the story of a girl who is from a future that gets destroyed, goes back in time, and then goes back to the future with people from the past, right? So it's like, this could be a whole narrative in and of itself, but it's only 1/13 of a larger narrative.
How should I know? What thing's for sure. It's bad news. That thing was straight out of the movies.
Exterminator, right? It sure did look like it.
He's like, what? What's that?
No, it's the 80s. Terminator would have happened already.
Oh, it's good that she made the correct reference then.
Hey, look at this.
Dude, no way. That's the Shikishima Industries logo. So all these kaiju-looking things.
Because once again, they're not supposed to be kaiju. They're supposed to be terraforming machines made by Shikishima, but then they were adapted via the decode into monsters.
Yes.
Shikishima made them?
She's like, this is my leverage.
Like, in a literal sense, I think it would be really oh my god, I think you're right, actually.
I mean, based off of her personality type, I'm thinking
you're super right. That's really funny. But I think it would actually be kind of interesting if we could get a mystery file, like a whatever, and it was like, here are all the enemies in the Grand Daimos video game, and it looks like the monsters we've been fighting, but just without all the machine parts.
Yeah,
right?
Do you think the game code did that? Like, that's why they look like this?
I think that's well, that's the thing, right? Is that the factories are spitting out the Daimos like crazy. I think the factories were rewritten to try to manufacture the monsters to the best of its ability. So I don't know. I just think that would be really interesting.
That means it was a man-made one, but
biometric ID scanned. No match found. Access denied.
What?
Whoa. Hey,
obviously the red button.
Well, red, white, and blue.
Okay, is that to be like,
I don't know, maybe. Could be French.
Oui.
Biometric ID. No match found.
Okay.
You could probably just press it again.
Red button, go boom.
Biometric. No match found.
Why would she have a biometric, though?
Biometric ID scanned.
That sounds different.
No match found.
No, never mind, I was wrong.
Well, so it's no match found because she's not registered to whatever Shikishima's system allows you to manipulate the machines, right? But
maybe it'll react to Ogata?
Yeah.
He's got the code, the decode?
Maybe you're doing it. Let me try.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
'cause
it'll react differently.
But this stuff.
well, so actually, I
You
think
just
it'll
gotta
react.
punch it.
Well, Saba, I think it'll react differently because remember, as a kid, he was shot by Titty Monster, and so he has nanomachines.
Oh.
You gotta press it like this.
Authorized board member. Administrative ID.
What?
Something came up.
board member? Like Shikishima board member?
I don't fucking know.
Maybe because my pops is an exec.
What?
I mean, that would be a reasonable thing to assume, I guess, that maybe, like, oh, who knows, maybe your father...
Because your genetic code is close enough.
Kid?
Shut it.
Wow.
He's embarrassed. He's like, I want to be cool, so being a rich
So
kid
that's why
isn't
that's
good.
why he's a fucking delinquent, because he's trying so desperately to not be a rich kid. That's so funny.
Shima Interstellar Development Division. Year 2188.
No, that makes sense. That does make sense given what we know.
Terraforming Project. Number 8834.
That also makes sense.
Interstellar development? Terraforming another planet?
Because this is what we know about the Daimos. The Daimos are repurposed terraforming.
Yeah.
Third phase. Surface construction and modification. Colossal Autonomous Heavy Machinery. D-Series. D-800. Surface Excavation Unit. Giant Bowler.
This kaiju is Shikishima heavy machinery?
Is that all you took away from that?
Remember, Ogata is CEO in 2188. Yeah, I remember that. But, so, okay, so hold on. So, the terraforming machines actually look like monsters? They weren't like repurposed machinery that was made to look like a monster. It's like, no, we made machines that look like giant monsters and shit.
Scary stuff, yeah.
Why?
True. These machines were made for planetary development, what are they doing on Earth? Especially in the past.
Hell if I know.
Right, because okay, so the first plan was to
They
try to
think it's-
terraform other planets, but then that didn't work for whatever reason. So then they were like, all right, we're gonna do Project Arc instead, which is making simulated environments, I believe. Right.
Okay.
I mean, actually, now that I think about it, that is a oh, and so the other
Oh,
the
that's
other
if she remains.
if she remains
remain.
behind,
Maybe,
yeah, exactly.
Maybe if it's Sheena Nome, like talking to Sheena Nome instead.
Oh, maybe that's a good one. That's a good idea. So I want to point out, or not point out. I want to think about it where it's like, I'm realizing now that I'm making a really big assumption, and I don't remember where I got this assumption from, but I'm making a big assumption about it being a satellite in space. Because technically, if you're literally just recreating, like, you know, like mental imprint data over and over on androids and clones and shit, is there a reason that this couldn't just be like, there couldn't be hundreds of these across like an entire galaxy, right? Like is what I'm saying, making sense?
Maybe. I mean, we just don't know. I guess.
I guess what I mean to say is that I'm not speculating that that's the truth. I guess I'm just coming to the realization that for whatever reason I've been functioning under the assumption that this is like a satellite floating in space, but that might not be the case. This might just be like a station on a planet. Because technically, it's like when you think about it, if each of the sectors is only 30 kilometers wide, let's assume Sector 0 is also 30 kilometers. That's only like 90 kilometers, right? From one end to the other. And it's like, that's not that much. So you could very easily have like hundreds of these on the surface of a planet and just say like, fuck it.
Go talk to Miwa.
Welcome back, Usami-chan. Thanks. Did Senpai wake up? Darn.
I'm back.
So how was it?
I'm back.
We checked out the kaiju. Turns out it's not a monster at all. Not an alien weapon either.
It's heavy machinery made by Shikishima Industries.
Heavy machinery? You mean like for construction?
Can I posit this feels really cohesive within itself? I feel like this is one of the first things that they wrote for the game.
Could be.
Because it's just like this, once again, this feels like it could be its own video game. Just the idea of like a girl from the future comes to the past after aliens attack, and then it's like, oh, it's actually like corporate espionage, right? Like this feels really cohesive.
We were attacked by something like that?
They're from an interstellar development project even farther into the future.
Guess they were supposed to do work on some other planet. No idea why they went back in time, or why they're destroying everything.
Alright, I'm realizing I didn't actually have like much for lunch, and so I was like, wow, what the fuck? Why am I so dizzy right now? And I'm realizing it's like, and so I'm like, oh,
We're almost done, actually.
Well, are we? Because we've only been streaming for like 2 hours. We could call it though. I'm okay with that.
We still have like, what is it? 15 minutes though. 16, 17, so we can finish this, I think.
What else we can find?
Definitely not finishing this in 2. I don't think it'll be 6 things like you said, but
I think it is. We still have all the combat to do. We're probably going to have an entire fucking episode of this, or at least a majority of an episode, that's us just going through the fucking timeline, Saba.
That is true.
This is one of my favorites.
And we're not doing it next week.
Are we not doing it next week? I thought you were only there for Friday. Or are you there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
Oh no, I'm just stupid. No, it is Friday. I'm gone. And also, I was wrong about me saying it was this weekend for our meeting because my mind was already thinking ahead to next week. So obviously we didn't have the meeting today. But I remember
By the way, I hope
tomorrow.
GDC goes well for you. Little point of advice I'll give. I mean, I know like you probably figured this out yourself already. Make sure to like your instinct is going to be to like, you know, ask people about their projects and then to talk about the stuff that you're doing. don't do that. Like, make sure you are like
That's
and this is what I'm saying. Like, I know you probably already figured this out, but almost everything that comes out of your mouth when you're on the convention floor should be asking other people about what they're working on. Not because what you're working on is invalid, but because that's really easy to like, oh, by the way, if you ever need anything, here's my card, right? I'm just letting you know. Because there's a lot of people that go to GDC for the first time, and it's like, I made this game, you know?
Yeah, well, I would also especially want to go, like, just learn about...
What the hell?
What happened?
Hold on, give it a second.
He's, but I would just want to go talk to see what other...
I kicked the plug on the dock. The dock that allows this thing to, like, play to my computer. I kicked it, and it disconnected, and all of the audio started coming through the switch, like, right here, and I was like, what the hell?
That's funny.
Sorry, anywho.
Senpai,
Yeah.
do you know?
Oh, and goddammit, my audio's all weird.
Oh,
Give me a second. It'll be right back, I promise. It is really cool, by the way, because you know how like my computer crashed earlier in the stream? It's cool that like that didn't kill any of our progress because the Switch is its own thing. Alright, we're back. Hello. Hello.
Here. Found him at a convenience store over there. Got enough.
He's literally the only one, I guess, making sure these girls are actually getting fed.
So, have at it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are you eating anything? Are you an android?
3 more convenience stores across the intersection.
He may have already
Right
eaten.
over there. How many of those things do you future people
That
need?
makes me feel a little better.
You future people.
That's a good
What do
point.
we do from here? If we're gonna go, gotta head out before. What do you think?
You're right. Just let me rest for a
Man, we've got to do something.
And it's unfortunate that at least currently all 3 of these people have no idea what's happening.
What I need is a sugar rush.
Gojo is here. I think once Shinonome wakes up, maybe she can take them back. A knows.
There's something I need to see. I'm going back to my house. Sorry. Just wait. Usami-chan.
Is this not going to be the scene? No, this is a different thing.
Miwako, stay back.
I thought this was going to be the scene where Amaguchi is like, my name is Ida.
My apartment building. It's broke. Sorry. I gotta stay strong.
You don't have to push yourself.
You know, actually, that would be kind of interesting, wouldn't it? If in a previous loop, like, imagine this is the crux of whoever Tomi becomes romantically interested in, right? Is like, she's in this place where she's like, my entire life is ruined, and whoever's there is the person that she, like, creates an emotional attachment with. Because in that memory that we saw previously, it was Ida, and now it's Ogata, and we know in this loop she's into Ogata. That'd be kind of neat.
Cry. Then.
Don't be stupid.
Oh yeah? What's with the voice then? You got a cold or something?
I always sound like this.
Whatever you say.
I hate you.
There was a cake shop on the first floor. They had this pear tart I used to get. It was so good. Megumi and I. We loved the...
That one of your friends?
Yeah. Megumi.
I'm about to say, we do know that she... Actually, that's a really interesting point. We never see that in her campaign, because she's not here now, but she does show up later as, like, a, quote, transfer student.
You saw what was
Yeah, so I wonder what happens once she actually sees Megumi.
Do we know what the, do we know what order the sectors were destroyed in? I thought it was Sector 2 was destroyed first. Am I wrong?
I think based off, I actually don't know.
Because I thought
think
Sector 2 was the one that had the factory, which is why it was attacked first, because it was literally like the call is coming from inside the house.
Yeah.
That's why you...
What?
I don't know.
There was a... They had the... Megumi...
That one of...
Yeah. Megumi, you saw what was happening. That's why you...
Okay, so you're talking about Megumi. I don't know what that means, though. But I guess we'll figure out. I guess we will see.
Renia Goto. Like, what? I'm supposed to go to class and pretend everything... Well, it's not. This place is 40...
Okay, so clearly there was another thing that happened before this that we are going to eventually see.
Those girls over there, they look about my age. Back home, they must be in their 50s. It's too weird. Sorry for making you wait, Miwa-chan. Miwa-chan! There was a bed available in the nurse's office, so I took a nap.
Oh god, she made me yawn.
I didn't really
Wow, my mirror neurons are like
class was already over.
firing on all cylinders.
That's the girl who sits behind me in class. Must be nice. Oh well. No point
So she does not know Miwako yet?
check out the
No.
library.
Well, this would have been right after she came back to the past, in her perspective, right?
Not having a smartphone is suffering.
True!
I think that's another reason why I feel like it'd be so difficult
Oh,
to,
she is here. What?
Yeah, to like go back into the past, because so much of the tech, at least for our age, so much of the tech would be different.
Tomi, so you're here too. I'm so glad you're okay.
Yeah, and yet she's signed because she's like, Juro. She probably did. Do you even think she thought about Tomi that much? Megumi?
No.
Well, my mom and dad, they're fine, right? Goto's just making things up. It has to be.
Is that it? Oh my god, no, she saw Juro, so now she's gonna leave. She's like, sorry, Tomi, I can't stay any longer. And then leaves.
That's Izumi, right? He's in my class here, so I've seen him around. But when I talk to him, he's like he's all nervous and stuff. Did something happen?
As a result of battle, he lost his memory.
Huh? Like, he hit his head?
No. They said it was permanent.
Right, because the interlocutors
They said it
were
was permanent.
disconnected.
Oh, as soon as I heard that he could possibly come back, in order to do that,
I shot you.
Backstabbing you, but you know, I went through with it anyway.
Trying to think.
I'm never not gonna like talk.
What is the
trash about
lowest
her.
common denominator? Like, what is the least valuable thing that I would shoot you for?
That wouldn't go that far.
Like, would I shoot you for like a candy bar? Probably not. Like, that doesn't feel. Well, it's a non-lethal shot, right? Hypothetically, I might kill you if you're bad in combat, but that's not my fault. That's your fault.
Oh, I would have died anyway. Why would you need to kill me in that instance?
But you got a cool robot.
Oh my god.
That's kind of cool, man. What, you're telling me that I shouldn't have my candy bar because you're like, ooh, combat.
Oh, combat.
I could never ever do that. I'll never give up on it. I can't.
I'm sorry, Megumi.
No one cares about your crying.
Do you want to know?
Megumi.
Do you want to know what's really funny? By the way, literally moments before that scene or before those lines happened, Tomi was just saying like, "Hey, do you think my parents are fucking dead?" To which Megumi didn't say anything, and then as soon as it's like, "My boyfriend died," and it's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." It's like, what?
Yeah, we all see it. We all dislike it.
You think this is fine? You think I can unlock this?
You know what? I think you should be fine.
Well.
Well.
I will say that was a very small number as well. Like the
10? Well, remember, 10 would have required us to do some combat. So essentially that was just saying, like, do combat, right?
Yeah.
Welcome back, Usan. Thanks. Did Senpai wake up? Darn. I've been thinking, when all this happened, we were in
I'm back.
school, right? Maybe we should try going there.
You think that'll help?
Well, you know, that's where we time slipped from. Maybe we can find a clue on how to get back. Anything.
That is a reasonable thing. Hell yeah, Agata still got his comb.
You might be onto something, Miwaka. The school. Morimura was always there, so I'm thinking maybe there's a time machine there.
There is, actually, in the science room.
Morimura?
Though I don't think she would have access to it anyway.
Nurse with the big knife.
Right, but you know who does have access?
That
The
nurse
person
with
who's
the big knockers. That sounds like Zach.
I'm not saying that. I was saying Shinonome, the person who's passed out in the bed.
No, I totally get what you're saying, but Ogata just said that, and I was like, that sounds like Zach.
Oh, shit! He did say that. Sorry. Oh, yeah, that nurse with the big knockers.
In fact, she came even farther than me.
You gotta be kidding me.
We checked out the kaiju.
That
Turns out it's not a monster at all. Not an alien weapon either.
actually completely flies in the face of the thing I was saying earlier, where it's like, that's actually a character directly addressing the fact that she looks ridiculous.
It's heavy machinery made by Shikishima Industries.
Heavy machinery? You mean like for construction? We were attacked by something like...
They're from an
Okay, so
interstellar development
the
project
school should now be an option for us to go.
Guess they were
I think
Deadly
so.
Shark. Knocker sounds like pricey stuff for doors.
Why they went back in time.
Reasonable, but I can.
It is
I
weird.
can
It is
very
weird that the
confidently tell you that
colloquialism.
that's not what it's called.
It is weird that the colloquialism
Or
in
that's
some
what
places
it's
is
called.
knockers, because it's like they don't really like. How hard are your tits that you would think knockers?
But also, let me ask you: is that like a direct translation from Japanese? Like, I don't like. Do they say that?
Kinda. Well, I mean, like,
think so.
it's really weird. A lot of the what's the word I'm looking for? Like nicknames for boobs or whatever. They actually transcend continents pretty well, which is weird.
Boobs are a universal
because they're at the front. No, but I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like calling boobs like fun bags or something like that. That makes more sense because typically they're quite soft, you know. And it's just like, I guess what I mean to say is that like knockers, as in like door knockers, make sense because they hang, right? But at the same time,
okay.
a boob never makes boobs never
boob
make
never
a sound. Yeah, actually, that's kind of what I'm saying. They never knock. So, like, why would you call them knockers like that?
Deadly Shark insinuates that maybe they used to knock people out.
I don't know how fucking huge those tits are or how elastic they are, but, like, that's crazy if that's...
I mean, in Japanese society, if boobs can elicit, like, bloody noses? Not bloody noses, but, like, you know.
No, the anime thing of the blood spurt, yeah.
Yeah, that could knock someone out. You lose enough blood.
So that... I wonder what else we can...
Discussing the linguistic logistics of knockers being the nickname for boobs is very funny.
Let's go back.
I wonder what else are they called? Sometimes they're referred to as
there's
fruit.
tons. You want to here? We could do this for the last 3 minutes. Give me a second.
Some people refer to them by fruits, as I just mentioned.
That's typically to describe.
Like
size.
the size. But still, I mean, sometimes it's not fruit. Sometimes it's a bowling ball.
All right. 117 nicknames for boobs. You got the easy ones: boobs, breasts, mammary glands, boobies, tits, titties, tatas. You got fiery biscuits, melons, baps, coconuts, bangers, not real. Cream pies, also not real. Ice gems, not real. I'm assuming you're talking about nipples there. Bacon hangers, fried eggs, cantaloupes. These are all not real. This is an AI generated. This is an AI generated article. Sometimes they have milky vibes. You have milk monsters, milkers, Milky Ways, milkshakes. You also have jugs. That's a good one.
We understand the connotation of milk here. Okay.
There's a lot of these that don't make any sense. Like random celebrity names. No human being on Earth has ever called boobs Brad Pitts. That doesn't make any sense.
Unless you're next to Brad Pitt, maybe.
You have twins, Minnie and Mickey, Phil and Lil, Mary-Kate and Ashley.
These are just names. Okay, these are just names that maybe someone was like, oh, look, these are twins, and my boobs are twins, so let's name them that.
Puppies, snuggle pups, cat flaps, that makes more sense for... Oh, it literally says right here, it says, like, this is also commonly a nickname for vagina. Udders, that's a good one, actually. Mosquito bites, that's insulting. I
have heard mosquito bites, which is crazy.
Cute nicknames. Noogies, Baps, Littles, The Girls, Buds, Bips, Buds again. They have Buds on here twice, number 60 and 62.
I've heard of
This
Buds.
is an AI. This is an AI
Buds is a little
generated
more
article.
common.
Bonbons. Maracas,
Bonbons.
Slammers, Chesticles, Jugs, Tatas. You already put that on here.
Testicles. Ooh, ew.
How about breasticles?
Oh, okay. I do remember hearing that Deadly Shark said airport if someone is flat, like really flat.
Well, I mean, flat as a board, right? Bazookas, cha-chas, bosoms, jubblies. I've heard jubblies before. Peaks, knockers, that's on the list, obviously. Rack, that's a good one. So rack is an interesting one, because like the reason why, because like you would say like, oh, that girl has a nice rack, because you're thinking of it in the same context as like a hunter looks at a buck, right? Because that's what you call like the antlers. It's like that's the deer's, that's the buck's rack. So like that's an interesting one.
Oh, I did not know that.
Well, that's where that comes from. Honkers. See, like honkers makes more sense than knockers to me, because like they're soft and you squeeze them, but like you don't knock them ever, and they don't knock each other. Anyway, there's obviously a lot, because you could just call them whatever, but yeah. Sweater stretchers, hot damn.
Sweater stretchers. That is
Whoopee cushions, naughty pillows.
Okay. Naughty pillows?
I don't know, man. So once again, I'm pretty sure that was just an AI generated article, because like it was made only a year ago, and most of those were repeated or nonsensical. So whatever. But anywho, all right. Well, that was a good use of the end of our stream.
Finished stream talking about boobs.
All because a character in game finally acknowledged how huge Moimura's tits are. You know what? Actually, I do kind of want to wrap this up by what cup size do you think Moimura is?
Oh my god, I don't even think I know how cup
Hold
size
on.
work.
Let me bring up the mystery.
F? I don't freaking know. Her tits are big though. Our Lord and Savior boobs. Correct.
Miss Moimura. They are probably as big as her head, if I'm looking at this image, right?
Does she have a small head?
No, she has a normal human-sized head. I'm just looking at her tits. Genuinely, I'm trying to think, what size would that be? I don't know. I mean, I hate to put this into my search history, but I'm going to look it up real quick, because now I'm curious.
He's curious about her boob size.
Well, who would have guessed?
We here are very dedicated to figuring. We want to be as accurate as possible, okay? Oh, don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
What? Okay. Okay. So obviously it depends, right? Because obviously bra sizes like differ in general. However, the general consensus appears to be that if your boobs are the size of your head, you are probably between a J and a K cup.
Wow. That's even bigger than what I said.
That's insane, and I don't think they ever really thought about that when they were designing this character.
I would probably agree with that, yeah.
Maybe check the other one? What do you mean?
You mean the other version of Moimura?
Do we have another
The one where
version
she's
of
in the
Moimura?
bodysuit? As a, a harder contour reference to look at?
That is true, but she's also facing away, so it's hard to know.
Well, there's two versions of her, though. I don't think you have access to the version of her where she is facing forward.
I mean, that is true, the different artwork, but I'm just saying, like, this is, like, she's very clearly, like, pushing it up in this, so I figured that this one was the best. Anyway, all right, we're done. Good stream. We'll be back on Saturday for more Professor Layton. All right. Well, good night, everybody.
All right. Bye-bye. Zach.
Bye-bye.